Stream.
Hooray.
Yay!
Ooh, hi,
We all
stream.
sound so excited. It's crazy. Stream.
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 Stream. What are you guys drinking? What's everyone drinking?
I'm drinking Disaronno.
I don't know. What am I drinking, Josh?
You're drinking toffee vodka with apple juice and lemonade?
Damn, toffee vodka? What?
it's pretty good.
Shit! You best hold the bottle for me.
No, we already drank like half the bottle.
Where'd you get it from?
The food fair thing.
Hampton Court Palace.
What? For real?
Yeah, we went to a food festival, didn't we? And they had flavoured vodkas and gins and all sorts there.
Come on. You might as well just not told me anything. When the hell am I going to get that?
They're called Thunder Vodka.
If you come
I'm
down
sure they're on
soon,
mine.
I've got maple whiskey as well, which is quite nice.
Thunder vodka.
Mhm.
Whilst Max Googles that,
Research.
I will now do the recap. Right? I'm supposed to do that now, yeah?
Recap.
Okay,
Go.
Okay. Session 2. We speak to Zuko and give him our secrets. He follows up explaining that he's protecting something extremely powerful. He only gives us aid if we agree to not use the thing. Max just broke something.
Oh no.
Zuko
I
advises...
dropped my caramel nuts. Hang on.
Oh no, those are different to your normal nuts. Zuko advises he must infuse one of us with some sort of effect. Taran claims he wants it wholeheartedly. We then get some time to chill, and I spend some time inspecting the flask. Avalyn rests, Etten decides to stay behind and talk with the others. Taran still begs for the gift. Kovu meets Livia and casts Detect Magic on his flask, determining that transmutation magic has been used to change the drink into something else, and that essentially he was roofied, and that's why he was so drunk in the first session. Meanwhile, the group discuss who should accept the gift. Etten sides with Taran, believing this to be a chance to prove his manhood, and Evelyn abates as a result. Taran childishly accepts. That's not me shitting on Taran. I remember him specifically saying it in a childish manner. Like, I think intentionally. Meanwhile, Kovu has Livia healed him in exchange for leaving a scroll detailing the Detect Magic spell at the statue of Arella. Having done this, he rejoins the group. I believe I see Livia at a distance as I head back, but I'm not certain. As Zuko returns, he begins the ritual on Taran, and Kovu casts Mage Armor on himself at 5 PM. That's relevant. You told me to write that. Zuko explains the ritual will give him true, because it lasts 8 hours and it starts at 5 PM. Zuko
Lasted
explains
1
the
hour.
ritual. What lasts 1 hour? The true
Oh,
sight thing.
you're
I'm talking
thinking-
about
yeah,
Mage Armor.
sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Zuko explains the ritual will give him true sight, granting the ability to see certain things. It absorbs quickly and feels odd. Everything feels oddly different to Taran. Zuko teleports us to the library and says we are where we need to be to begin. We have 1 hour to find what we're looking for, but only Taran has true sight. Kovu suggestions the librarian to then check the religious section after failing to find our quarry at the scrolls. Meanwhile, Etten checks out the study and finds a list of stock. He finds a set of keys, but doesn't know the location of the lock. Having eventually located the keys, we head into the prohibited section, and Taran locates a book called The Secret. This opens the way into some sort of underground location that we begin to explore, and then I stopped writing them, but the rest of the recap is that we explore for a while and get into a fight with a bunch of books.
Yep. Anyone got anything to add, or does that sound fun?
It was lots of fun.
Just roll like 30% on a D1 million.
I win.
Oh my god.
I don't think I put the D. Or maybe not
No.
the R.
I know. Why are you trying
No,
it
you
for?
put the R, you didn't put the D.
Yeah.
So you've said roll 10 million, and it's gone. Okay. There we go.
Damn. Let's get them bad rolls and that ones out there, guys.
Wait, what happens if we add Max's and my numbers together? Does it make a million? Are we the exact opposite of each other?
No, because it's already
plus
it's already
2,
7.
3, 5, 6, 2, 9.
It's,
Ooh, we're not far off, you know.
What?
Yeah, it's 1,099,000.
Oh. Ooh.
But in millions, we're within 10%.
Oh, better than my roll.
Data analyst.
All right.
Let's do D&D things.
Stop working, man.
Y'all ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Cool. I'm just letting you all know. You all know that I've got a really bad cough. My throat's really sore, so if I'm a bit quieter than normal, it'll sound a bit weird. That's why.
Okay.
I've assured
Other
her
than
that we
that-
will do all the talking.
That would be great. I'll intervene when needed. I believe we got to the top of the round.
Yeah, we probably would have ended on the top of the round. We do try and do that normally.
Yeah,
But
you did.
I've hidden turn order as is our
Oh yeah, we're
custom.
fighting
Although
those
didn't
books,
we also
innit?
say we don't really care about hiding turn order anymore? It doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I need the turn order open. I don't.
Yeah, you don't care if we have it open.
I mean, I don't hugely care. I mean, I feel like it's a bit silly knowing when they're gonna
Go.
fight, but whatever.
I don't mind. I'll leave it closed. I know that in Critical Role they the players write down the turn order the same as Mercer does, so they end up all knowing it anyway. But I don't care. I'll leave it closed.
Leave it open. I don't mind. It's not bothered.
It-
If
I-
anything, it helps you guys knowing when your turn's
Yeah,
coming.
there's an argument to be like if you
Be a
can
bit
see
more
the turn
prepared.
order all the time, then you've got no excuse to not be ready on when your turn comes around.
Yeah. Okay. Do
I'm
that.
gonna open it.
Can you guys all see it? It's
I
Avalyn,
closed mine
then
anyway.
You did what?
Etin, I believe.
Yes, I can. Then the book.
Then the books.
then someone.
Then Kovu, and then Taran.
I see.
Avalyn, Etin, Books, Kovu, Taran.
I close it
So-
anyway. I like not knowing.
You've just
I
killed
have
the
to
first
prepare my
book that you
spells,
guys
shit.
found, and as time has progressed, you've noticed that more books have appeared, and you are, I don't know, fighting them, I guess. Avalyn, it is your turn.
Do you want me to dig out some
I-
music?
Strike with
Oh,
my.
sorry, I have got music. 1 minute. You carry on and tell me what you're doing.
I strike with my sword. Hiya! At blue.
You
Oh
failed.
no. That's
But
wrong.
that's Reddit.
How do I roll?
I mean, how long has it been now?
Like a year.
How do I roll?
/R woman.
Okay.
1 minute. So it's bot request.
At least
and
you
is
had the
it-
rest of it right though. You know your plus and
Yay!
everything.
Do I
Does
do?
25 hit?
There we go. Yeah.
It's exclamation mark play
Exclamation mark
space
play
paste
space
the YouTube link.
I don't remember what the damage is. 2d6.
It will be just below your health, won't it? Let me just turn the bot down for the sake of the stream. It might have been crazy loud from when we were doing Disney karaoke.
Don't know what you're on about.
I have been listening to
I-
nothing but Disney
9
all fucking
damage.
day. I'm not even
Oh, shit,
joking.
that's the wrong thing. I've been listening to nothing but fucking Christmas songs because of the girls at work all bloody day.
Oh fuck that. So you
And
25 to
you-
hit and 9 damage. Is that correct?
Yes, but I use
Fuck
my
you,
extra
Christmas.
attack as well.
Okay, bear with me 1 minute. 1 minute. What book are you hitting? What color?
Blue.
Blue. Okay. But before you do your extra attack, you completely slice this book in half.
Oh, amazing.
You still
Right
have
down
your
through the
second
middle.
attack, by the way.
Where's Taran?
Taran is to the right of me.
Yes. Okay, just checking. Taran can't see from this angle, but if he could, he'd be really upset that you just shredded a book, despite the fact it was trying to eat you.
Me too.
I feel like you'd care less. I feel like he's definitely into books more than you are.
I disagree.
Oh.
I mean, he
Can disagree.
basically, you know,
Why
I
not?
need them
Depends
to
what's
cast
in the book.
spells.
Ancient knowledge.
I feel like 90% of the book is like teeth or some shit, so I don't think I'd care that much.
I
Okay,
agree.
fair enough. But that's a fair point. That's a fair point. So you technically, I don't know how it works. You taken? Can you move and then do your extra attack? I don't know if that
Yes, you can.
works. You
Oh,
can-
okay.
well, there you go.
Also,
So,
I
You agree to continue your turn, but you
I
use your
move.
action.
2 green, and I take my extra attack.
I'll check
when
anyway,
the-
but I would have gone with that quite happily if it was my game. But I'll check in the meantime.
I will roll when my PC. There we go. Decides to not be a prick. Right. For fuck.
oh, get them nat ones out, man. I mean, just get their ones out.
She
Fuck
can't
it.
roll, let alone
20.
that one.
And
Do you crit on a
hit.
19?
Who's that? Who's got that? Someone's got that, I think.
Yeah, I think Evelyn would crit.
Avalyn,
19.
what's your
She's-
class again, Avalyn?
Paladin.
Paladin. Oh no, I think it's a fighter thing.
It's a feat, isn't it?
It is a feat as well, but I don't think any of us have any real feats. Yeah,
No.
you totally can move between the
How
two attacks. It's
dare
fine.
Okay, then roll damage.
I mean, you've got
13
feats,
damage
you just don't
to
have
green.
feats.
Okay. So you take a big swipe through this book, and you take off like almost like the corner of it. It's like you've cut through it with scissors. It's still clamping away, but it's definitely moving with a lot less force.
Does
and
it
you don't think
bleed?
it will take much more. No, it's kind of just crumbles and turns into a book on the floor.
So they're not so much mimics or living creatures as they are like enchanted in some fashion.
Is that the rest of your turn? So you've done your movement, you've done
Yeah.
your attack, you've done your extra attack. Do
Yeah.
you use your
Still
bonus
got-
action to use your extra attack?
I don't believe so.
No, it's just its own thing.
It's just on top, so you've got your bonus
Yeah.
still and free action technically.
And still a bit
Yeah.
of movement, probably.
And a bit of movement potentially, yeah, unless you want to stay there.
I'll just do an RP yell and be like, aim for the spine. Because I would assume that's the weakest part of the book. So,
Yep, well you cut the other one straight through the spine and it fell into
Yeah.
the floor onto two and sort of fluttered pages onto the floor.
yeah. So imagine how came round the corner, I would have been like, aim for the spine, because I just chopped one in half.
Yep, that makes
RP.
sense. Okay. And that means it's your turn, Etten.
Sweet. Can I? I'd like to attack. Red Book, please.
Red book.
Red
You
Book.
can attack Red book.
Book be red.
Let me attack my
You know
Red
you can
Book.
click the arrow, Sevi, to move through the turn order as it goes through.
What do you mean? Why do I need to go through it? I can just see it.
Because you can press next and then you know where you are at any one time, like if you forget or whatever reason.
Oh my God! What's going on?
Nat one.
Do you have extra
Yeah.
attack?
I do have extra attack.
You still get another attack.
Fuck you, Book.
This one makes contact.
Thank you very much.
Haranet's upset with that statement.
Oh yeah. Sorry, man. 8. 5. Get that book. Break his legs.
Red, yeah, it's 8 damage.
I'm breaking your legs.
Break the legs.
You are so sure that you've gone straight through the spine of this book, and you feel like you're just about to go all the way through, but you just misjudge your hand movement slightly, and you end up not quite getting all the way through, and it slips out and stubs your toe, and you take
Aw.
2 piercing damage.
What?
You net one.
Cut through your boot.
Oh yeah, of course. Yes, I did. Yes.
But
I cut through- I
honestly,
cut through
you
my own
think
boot.
you were this close to shredding this thing to pieces, and honestly, it's not really biting so much now as sort of flopping around on the floor. It's still trying to go for you, mind.
All right, cool.
Anything else you would like to do on your turn?
I would like to I'm gonna no, I'm good. I'm gonna stay where I am. Hang on, can I go round him here? Can I
think
do
you
that?
Can, yeah.
Can I do that with this?
Yeah, you can. The map's not perfect in terms of squares, but yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna move
Thank
here
you.
so that makes it a little easier.
Yeah, cheers.
Right?
No problem. No problem. Is there anything else you'd like to do, or is that it?
No, that's it, please. Thank you.
Okay, dokes. And that means it is the book's turn. So Red is going to pathetically try and hit you, Etin, as you are the only one within reach. 18. Is 18 your 18 your armor class, right?
18. Yep.
Cool. So he's pathetically, I say he, it is trying to pathetically clamp onto your boot as it sees a
Look,
hole
Ina.
and thinks it might be able to find some flesh, but because you've shredded its spine about 80% of the way through, it just can't grasp on and kind of ends up just sort of nudging your toe and not really doing a lot of damage, looking quite pathetic if I'm honest. And then green is going for you, Evelyn. Sorry. 19. And that will hit you, Evelyn. It's very weak, but it's managed to grab onto your hand as you swing your
Okay.
sword down and clamps down. Dun, 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 dun.
How much damage?
I'm just checking.
70.
No.
Oh.
You feel all of your blood come out of your eyes.
Hmm.
Yeah. You take 7 piercing damage.
That's a lot if you're a me.
Not too much if you're.
And it is stuck to your arm. It is clamped
Oh.
down and it is holding on strong. And that is their turn. It is now
Kova's turn.
whose turn?
Hooray!
Kovio is currently thinking about his best strategic move.
I'm gonna whatever my frost cantrip is. The guy right in front of me. Ray of
Red,
frost.
do you have to roll to hit, or is it?
Yes, I do.
Oh, sounds like you need a roll.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that statement. Very astute. Na, na, na. My +2 hit, I think, is an 8. Oh, it's on my spellbook.
The irrigating.
Sorry, this would have been quick, but I was downstairs. 27.
You will hit. Roll me double hit.
Fabulous. 12, and his speed is reduced by 10.
Red. Boom, boom, boom. What is it you're doing?
Ray of frost. It's
And
frost.
how
It's
is-
cold damage. You want me to describe the visual?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you want to do this?
So I sort of move my hands in like a swirling motion as though I'm kind of making a invisible ball you can't really see. And then a small sort of snowflakey shimmer begins to form in the center and get bigger and bigger until it kind of Hadouken blasts. Actually, it's more like a Dragon Ball Z Kamehameha style thing because it's like a continuous line rather than like a shot bit of flame. And it beams out of my hands into the book and just freezes the whole thing solid, and then it drops to the ground and smashes into pieces.
Yep. That's what happens. Taryn, it's your turn.
Can I go in this space here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can. You can go around.
Okay, cool. Just because
Okay.
I cannot
So it'll
physically.
take you 20 feet to stand next to Evelyn.
Let's rush the
Yeah.
book. Rush it.
Right.
4 of us stamp on it.
And I do the shocking grasp. Buzz, buzz, buzz.
Go for it.
As it were.
That is shocking.
Zappy wappy.
Nice.
Oh, it's
Oh.
not come up for me.
It's not come up for me either.
No, it did not either.
Actually.
For me, I was just
You're
reading
looking at
Kobe.
Kobe's.
But thanks.
It moved. I'm telling you, it
10.
moved.
Oh shit.
That's not gonna happen.
What was it you're doing? Shocking grasp?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you get really close to it, but as it's clamped down on Evelyn's arm and she gets slightly scared that you're going to hit her and she flinches, and it means that you just shy miss. And you can see that she's very panicked on her face because she has a book attached to her and you're trying to help, but she's really not making it any easier for you.
I'm just sort of stood there with like both of my hands just sort of around where the book is, just almost like
Waiting.
trying to get in a good place to pull it off, but I can't
Yeah,
really.
it's like you're trying to touch it, but you're not trying to touch her, but she's flinching and moving, and so you're backing away, and you're just not really, you're not able to make contact as much as you're trying.
Yeah.
Anything else on your turn?
I think that's as much as I can. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Okie dokes. Evelyn, it's your turn again.
Oh, again. He uses
Goes
an
round.
action. He uses an action to take it off, doesn't it? To try and escape the book.
It does.
Because that means then I couldn't attack. This is a conundrum that I only realized.
Do you have to break the grapple, or can you just hit
No,
it?
you can try and hit it while it's on you. You don't have to break it to attack it.
Do I?
Just put on
Oh,
that one because you might chop your hand off.
Yeah, that's very true.
Do you have
It was
disadvantage
attached
to
to
hit somebody
Max.
that's
Was it,
grappling you?
Etin, I believe it was attached to you, and you were able to hit it while it was on your leg.
right.
Do you have
Okay.
disadvantage? Did you say, Josh?
To hit
I would
something
assume
that's
so.
grappling you, I'm just checking.
You might potentially in the rules, but I don't think I made Etin, so for the sake of that, I won't make it Evelyn.
Okay. Then I'll roll. Oh no! Ah! Oh, no.
Evelyn's about to
Oh,
lose a
it's okay.
hand.
It's okay. Are you attacking the book?
No,
Yeah,
she's
she's
cutting her own hand
Oh,
off.
no.
How are you trying to do it, Evelyn? Explain how you're trying to attack the book that's on your arm.
She's aiming for the hand.
She's no longer using her sword.
She's using marshmallows.
I was hoping to hug him to death.
I was using the hilt to try and knock it off with
Gee.
blunt force. The
I feel
other
like you need
end
to
of
lop
my
a bit of a
sword,
finger off.
I was smacking it, and it completely failed. That's it.
Broke her thumb.
Yep, that's absolutely true. You
Huh.
you try and reposition your sword so that you're holding it in a way that you can bash it with a hilt. But as it clamps down on you,
It's a far
you end
more
up trying to
forgiving
hit
DM
it, and
than
you
I
end
am.
up hitting your own arm, and the book bites down harder, and you end up dropping your sword.
Oh.
Okay.
I'd have taken a piece of a finger.
Oh no.
This
man.
big sword
Can you
falls
imagine?
and almost smacks me in the face.
Killing
I love
Taran
I love
instantly.
how it's 2v book, and it's
Book's winning.
Book
Yeah,
is
I love
winning. Yeah.
Well, think
Uh,
about real world terms. If there was a book with teeth latched onto your arm and you had someone trying to help you, that would be a very chaotic situation.
Yes, it would. You're both trying to attack it while not hurting your own arm, and it's not gone very well initially.
Mm.
Yeah.
Is that the rest of your turn? Sorry.
I'm gonna yell, help! Get this thing off me!
So you stab Taran and then deafen him as you yell directly into his ears because he's right next to you.
That is my turn.
For like non-combat, for combat's sake, visual, I'll leave the book off Avalyn just so you can see it. But combat-wise, it's actually in Avalyn's space as it's on her.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it looks stupid on the map, so
Yep.
just keep that in mind for all of you in terms of spacing.
Yes, sir.
If that's you done, then it is Etten's turn. Are you done?
I
Avalyn?
can't get there.
Yes, sorry, yes.
I'm not gonna be able
Okay,
to get there,
cool.
man.
No worries. Etten, it's your turn.
Hello. Okay.
Which means the
I'm
book
gonna
gets
move.
another round. You could dash, but you're not gonna be able to do anything once you're
No,
there.
1, 2, 3, 4.
You can move diagonally.
Thank you.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25,
20,
30.
25.
If you move 2 to your right, that would be your full movement. Yeah,
That's
so
it.
That's 30 feet.
Shit. Can I poke my arm around the corner and shoot an arrow between the two of them? At this. Can I do
From
that?
there, you could.
Do you know
certain-
what?
Yeah. you
It's
could
from the
certain, right?
corner. It's from either the corner, like any corner of his hitting the
book's
corner of
going to hit.
theirs.
Yeah.
You're hitting
Can
where,
I-
like it's on Avalyn, right? I
Yeah.
think you probably could crossbow that. I would maybe give the book some sort of additional AC
Some
due to
cover,
the
yeah.
cover.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm gonna
But yeah, you can
shoot.
certainly try.
gonna
Beware though
shoot-
that it is attached to Avalyn, and you do have Taran standing within 5 feet of her.
That's
And
fine.
so far, we've had how many ones?
That's fine. So anyway, here's Thunderwave.
I'm gonna use my longbow, please.
Hmm.
Do I need to?
Longbow.
I don't
Yeah, I've
think
got a
you
longbow.
can. You're gonna. I guess with bonus
I
actions,
don't.
would it
I
be-
don't. I don't have a crossbow.
You
do I
could
need
bonus
to-
action drop.
No, but your longbow, you
weapon.
have a short distance where you're at disadvantage if you're too close, don't you?
I don't think so. It's only within 5 feet that ranged is at
Oh,
disadvantage.
okay. So then, yeah, you're fine.
But he's gonna have to use his bonus action to drop his current weapon, and then free action draw the longbow.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Do you okay with that, yeah. All right,
so
cool.
roll
Do
to
I-
hit with your longbow.
Guys, this is for
Sayonara.
you.
Nat one.
This is for you. This is for you.
Nat one.
Yay!
Oh, no way! No way! Oh my gosh. Okay.
Go on, Sevi. Arrow off the finger that didn't get chopped off before.
Don't punish me.
Oh, this is brilliant.
the
I feel really
DM.
bad because I crossed my fingers and you said, and then you rolled. So, hilarious.
Cursed session.
I mean, it's kind of strange.
Oh, shit, I'm
seeing this
supposed to be writing
giant man throw his axe on the floor and whip out a longbow, which is nearly 6 feet long, off his back, and then try to shoot around a bookshelf at a moving book on your ally's arm. Unfortunately, it does not go well for you. You are used to aiming up to try and get the range, so you aim lower, and then when you let go, it ends up going a lot lower than you expected and shoots straight in and scrapes through Avalyn's side of her leg. And she takes 3 piercing damage.
Damn.
I'm sorry, Evelyn. No, that's my bad.
You should have lost any limbs. If it was up to Josh, you'd have lost 2 fingers by now. You only had 10. 4, well, 8 technically.
You.
And now it's the book's turn!
This book is kicking our asses, man.
Hit it, man.
Book's full. It's not kicking our asses.
Wait until you hear how much health it has. That's even funny.
Hey.
I'm doing quite fine.
It's causing all of these
okay.
nat ones.
Book is having a great time. The fact that everyone's trying to hurt it and it's succeeding, so it clamps down even harder on your arm, hoping to actually break through some skin a bit more.
I
and
don't
some
think
muscle.
grapple gives it advantage, but it does have the ability to move the grappled person as if it's difficult terrain. But I don't suspect that a book could do that anyway, so it's kind of your call.
You take 4 piercing damage. The book clamps down and starts to go even deeper into your muscle.
How much damage? Does
4
it do?
piercing.
4. Okay.
And that is the end of the book's turn. Kovu, it is your turn. Want to come
Please.
join the party?
Yeah, so I'm going to come up here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'll come to like here. And as I come round and see Etin shooting Evelyn in the leg, I'm just going to be like, oh, have you ever used that before? And then I'm going to Ray of Frost the book.
Okay.
Ray of Frost that book.
If this is a nat 1,
22.
I
You
stretch.
hit!
I throw my arm upwards, like up above my head, so that it's not.
How much is
gonna
that your
hit
damage,
anything.
Josh?
9 damage, and I assume it kills the book, but it also sort of like frost burns
Evelyn
the
just
wound
wants us.
on Evelyn's arm.
Evelyn just wants us to hit the book.
I feel like I'm
Just
down
the
on one
book,
knee at this
please.
point. Like I feel like I would have dropped from the arrows.
You take no damage from the ice, but if anything, the fact that your ice goes so cold as the book freezes up and drops off it, it's slightly numbed your arm, where it's done a fair amount of damage and reduced the bleeding. And that's it. You're out of combat.
Yay!
Yay. I want to use a spell slot though, and cast
Eventually.
when I eventually scroll with my laggy laptop. Cure wounds on myself.
On me, thanks.
For sure. Can do that.
But I need to look it up because I have no idea what it costs and what I roll. So
Etin, you remember how we've spoken of in the past, and indeed experienced some times where you are somewhat overcome with the inherent desire to destroy everything in the surrounding area.
Well, I don't know what you mean there. Like,
Well, it's just that I'm not certain how many more books in this supposed library are going to come to life and attempt to eat Evelyn's fingers, so perhaps this would be a fortuitous time for you to cut the fuck out of the remaining ones?
well, yeah. I mean, you've got a good point there. I'm gonna, yeah, I'll go round and start chopping up the books.
I'm gonna go with him and just read them before he cuts them, and if any are interesting, I'm gonna look at them first. But if they're not, I'm just gonna let him baseball bat away and smash the crap out of
None of them
everything.
look interesting. They look
One
like they
day-
might have been important text long ago, but there seems to have been some kind of
Your modifier.
something's happened to this book. So they've either been water damage or
Right.
they've been
Shit. No, on that page with your spells.
they've been tampered with in a way which has ruined the content of this book. So
Okay, so
it's
then
like people
yeah,
have tried to write over them. There's markings on the outside. It looks like people have maybe tried to write things over things, and they look fucked with.
cool. Yeah, I just let him go to town.
All right.
Okay, well,
what is it? /R.
Yeah, it's still /R.
Still sharp.
Okay, let's try. I healed 8.
Yeah, not a great roll.
Not fantastic, but
Wait,
what does
Better
the
than nothing.
look like? I want to pick it up and look inside.
was your cure wounds? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
as I
what,
said to
D8, yeah.
Kovu, Taran, all the books seem to have been heavily messed with in some fashion. Either they've been drawn over, they've been water damaged, they have a strange pulse about them. Like someone's definitely been messing with these books. Anything that was in these once ago has long been essentially graffitied over with some kind of weird ritualistic magic, or just outright ruined through you shredding them to pieces and then being stuck underwater.
I give it just like the look of a child that's done playing with a toy that he's really sick of, and I just sort of chuck it to the floor, just like, whatever.
Yep, that's fine.
I want to check how everyone else is doing because I can't
Okay.
see their HP. So
I'm looking.
How are they looking,
If
DM?
I was to describe myself, I would say bleeding, but not profusely.
Sore.
Okay. I go over to Kovu and I
Oh, hello, Evelyn. You
use.
did quite well in the fight. You were certainly a shield, if not much more.
Yes, at the end there, it got a little. I was a little nervous for my arm right at the end there, but we managed
No.
it. Thank you for your ray of frost.
Oh, of course.
You look a little damaged. I'm meta gonna cast lay on hand. Oh, it's not actually a spell.
Yes, I did take.
I will heal you five
Oh,
HP.
what are you doing? Oh,
I like lay like kind of gloss my hand over where you're bleeding and
strangely
heal.
warm. Why are you touching my wounds?
You heal 5 HP, and I have 25 pips left.
Why do I feel better now? What did you just do to me?
I just cast a simple healing invocation. You
Oh.
should feel a little better now.
How
that
do
you
you
had-
not know what it is that she done to you?
I'm no
Right.
purveyor of healing magic, Etin. This is new to me.
How are you doing, Etin? Let me get a closer look at you. Come here, Etin. How is
Okay.
Etin?
Evelyn, just before you do continue, I would
Yeah.
suggest that if you're capable of such magics, that perhaps you might keep something in reserve, just in case one of us was to become unconscious. I found in the past that healing tincture or similar magics of the type are best used to recover somebody who has otherwise been incapacitated.
Yeah.
That is good advice.
Come-
It's been a while since I've fought.
Yes,
so
well, I don't bloody remember you doing any
Mm.
strange warm hand thing, so it must have been a
Yes.
while.
Yes,
Well,
it has.
come over here and give me some of that healing touch.
How
I feel
much
like this has become
HP
overtly
down?
sexual. I'm going to check out the rest of the library.
Also, while you do that, can you? I don't know why that music won't play.
Is it over 3 hours?
No, it's just saying continuously searching, and then if I hit like exclamation play, it plays my old song, not the latest one I put in.
It's second in the queue, apparently.
Ah. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Is that just I skip? Like not
Skip
I.
just
exclamation
skips.
mark.
Yeah, exclamation mark skip skips to the next song in the queue.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, so what are you all doing?
I'm gonna look at this shelf that I'm stood at.
Yeah, I just generally want to look around the room. Same deal.
Do you both want to roll investigation?
Certainly.
Or...
No.
I forget what my investigation is. Oh yes, I'm perfectly happy with rolling investigation.
What
think
were
that's
we
right.
doing again?
I'm searching around the room, Etin. We've come down here to uncover whatever this place holds. Some sort of scroll of power that our friend from the temple has tasked us with.
Okay.
Tara,
want
you
to,
Sorry, what were you saying?
No, sorry, I was just gonna say, I walk around like still ready, like haven't sheathed my blade. Kind of, like poking different books on the floor with
Yeah.
like my sword, even though they're completely like innate. I'm just like
Well,
poking
these
my sword,
books
walking
looked
around.
completely normal until they came to life, so that's a completely fair reaction.
Yeah.
Etin, what are you doing?
I am. I'd like to make my way over to the this point here, and just
The
check
north.
out what's going on. Yeah, north,
Mhm.
please.
Okay, you head up there and have a little look.
As you pass me, I'm just inspecting the orb that slowly moves around me, just making sure that it's doing okay. I'll look at it and it seems fine. And I'm going to turn back to the water ahead of us.
Let me know how far you want to go in.
That's as far, literally where I am. I
So
just
what
want to
did-
see. Yeah. Oh, is that what I see? Oh,
I'm coming too.
What do
Okay,
I see on the shelf?
yeah. Let's play.
What did you say, Taryn?
I said, what do I see on the shelf? Because I was doing an investigate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I did a higher investigate.
Oh, no,
too.
sorry, I was just I'm doing the unreveal thing on the map before I forgot. Otherwise, they'd have been staring in black.
Good, darkness.
Taryn, you look around and you can definitely tell that you feel like This is a place where they used to keep a lot of information. Unfortunately, you can't really find anything. Like I said, it's a lot of stuff is missing. A lot of the shelves are empty. A lot of stuff's on the floor. You feel like it looks almost like this place has been ransacked. You're not too sure what's happened here, but you get the feeling that this place used to be a full library, like the library you just come from upstairs, and yet now it's sort of a scattered remains with not much left. You can see it's not just books and scrolls that hold information. It also seems to be scribblings of people writing things down and notes. It's the kind of notes that you would make if you're on your own and you've had a book and you want to make your own notes and do your own study work. You feel like if this place was how it used to be, it's somewhere you would have loved to have been. Like you could envision yourself spending hours and hours upon here, looking through books, making notes. But it's clearly not what it once was.
Does it seem like the notes of multiple people or just one person?
Multiple people.
Okay.
You can't see names, but you can tell by the writing styles that different notes seem to focus on different things and write in a different way. Some are more about drawings and glyphs and things like that. Some more about just notes and diary keeping.
What are the races amidst the group?
I'm human.
Okay, cool. That's basically all I needed to know. Carry on.
What is everyone else, just to confirm?
Goliath and
You're
human.
higher.
I'm a human.
I'm Goliath.
Okay, cool. Kovu, you basically get the gist of the same thing. You feel like that this may have been a place where they kept important information, but also as a place of teaching.
I want it to look
You've
more
seen
like
similar
specifically
areas.
at the south and north. I don't know if I would have had the time to check out the south and what appears to be some kind of door down there before heading into the water a little bit with Etin in the north.
Yeah, you can. Well, you can say that you let. Yeah, sure. You can go south. That's fine.
As they're in the water, I want to just be like, hey, quickly step out for a second.
Very well. I wasn't that far in.
No,
Alright.
only sort of went up to your.
And then I want to walk up to the water and use the spell Shape Water,
Mhm.
where I can freeze the water, provided there are no creatures in it, and it's frozen for 1 hour.
How much water?
It doesn't actually specify from what I can
fair
see.
That's not
Okay, up to 5 feet. Direction, yeah. Never mind.
Is that like to take a
Because
spell
I didn't read
slot?
that specific point. No, it's a cantrip.
Or you could just keep
Oh, so
casting.
it's a little 5-foot cube. So it's more like a glass of water or something. Well, maybe a bit bigger. About 5 feet actually. It's a lot bigger than a glass.
Yeah. So I imagine like a sheet
a really
of.
small bath.
Is a glass
I mean,
of
if you
water,
want to continue and try, you'll freeze the little top step, and there'll be a nice little frozen step for you before it then enters into the water. But unfortunately,
Shape
that's what will happen.
water, yeah.
What was the name?
That's interesting.
No way. Kovu, were you going south while the others sort of looking at the water,
Yeah,
looking
I'll
around the
go
room?
south. Having
Evelyn's
gone here and like
poking
started to
books.
go in a little bit, I'm going to be like, I'm not too interested in this, and then I'll go south.
Okay.
Oh, but you can make 5 feet of water go yellow like you peed in it.
Lovely. Thank you. We all needed to know that.
Just saying. It's a feature of the spell.
Okay. The door is locked.
Very well.
That door is locked as well. Didn't we come across one before that was locked? We did, yeah. It was in the middle of the that corridor that we came.
Do any of
through
you
on
have
the-
any
on the-
keys?
Nope. You didn't check that door.
Did
It
we
was
not?
Shut. Nope.
What door?
Oh, we didn't check it.
What door are you on
I
about?
swear we did. I swear we did. In the east walkway or tunnel or whatever.
What, that small gap?
That little look. You can
So
see me.
the
Look,
squares are.
you see a
Oh,
little-
there. Yeah, no, we
Yeah.
didn't check
Red
that. We were
doors.
supposed to check it afterwards.
Did we not?
You went
Okay.
down one side, down the other side. You planned to check it, and then you just walked straight past it and went all the way down to the
Okay.
other.
That's fine.
cool.
You've
Well-
remembered it now. We'll check it in a sec.
Oh, I'll go check it now then.
Do any of you have keys? I've come across a locked door.
No, I didn't collect any keys.
Other than, did I not? Do I still have them keys?
What keys?
The keys that I gave
To
to
the
open the
forbidden
door
section.
that I
Upstairs.
gave.
No, you
that-
left them upstairs.
Did I? Oh,
Well, I'm pretty sure the librarian took them off you as you came around the corner holding them.
If none of you have any keys, perhaps some good old-fashioned brute force might open this entryway.
well.
We could
I mean,
certainly try.
We could.
I'll take a few steps back.
Come along.
Who's
Oh,
doing
is that
it?
the door-
I'm
the door
assuming
What's
it
down?
would
happening?
be
Are
I'm
me.
you
talking
going
about
back
the
to
southern
the
door.
original door, or are you trying to smash through the bottom door?
I still want to smash through
Um,
this door that I'm at right now.
I didn't realize the door there. I was.
Right.
just
Well,
going
well,
upwards.
won't you
actually
move
coming
yourself
away.
out of the way? Yeah.
So you're not going back to the middle door. You're staying at the southern door.
Currently
Yeah,
checking out the southern
Okay,
door.
cool. Okay, who is trying to punch the door? Or
I'll
break
let
it,
Ed
whatever.
because he's massive.
Yeah, I'm going to. Hang
you
on,
want
don't
to-
I have a? Don't I have like an ability or something? I'm sure.
Yes,
Something
it's
about
called
me.
door smash.
No, I mean.
Smash door,
No, I don't. Sorry, I thought I did. All right, what do you want me to roll?
Pure
dice.
flat strength.
Flat strength.
Flat strength, please.
Okay. Is that when you say flat strength? Is that
Just the modifier. D20
flat?
plus 5.
Yeah, whatever your strength
Five?
I
modifier
assume
is.
your strength is plus 5.
No,
No,
it's 4.
Oh, then D20 plus 4.
Yeah, there we go. Oh my
God.
lord! What the fuck?
You run and charge into this door, but unfortunately, you run and charge into where the door handle and lock is, and really crush your side as you try and ram into it. The handle goes into your side, and you end up backing away before doing any damage or force with a really bad
I
bruise.
was rather thinking you might use your great axe rather than your hip, but certainly up to you.
What would you like to do next?
I'm going to look at. I'm gonna look. I want to look at Kovu and be like, just give him that look, that menacing stare while I bring up my axe and be like, all right.
No, quite
What?
right. This is all your moment.
All right. Well, let me try here with the axe then.
Do you want to do a weapon attack with your axe?
I do.
Is it?
14.
How are you doing it? Are you just trying to swing it straight through the middle of the door? Is that what's happening here?
I'm just gonna swing for the hills, man.
Okay, you pull back, you ready yourself, you edge your footing a little bit, you swing straight forward, the tip goes in the wood and stays there.
What?
You've definitely gone into the wood a little bit, but you haven't broken through by any means, and your axe is not like it's not stuck, but it's in the wood currently. You're gonna have to give it a good yank to get it out.
Okay. Let me give it a yank to get it out. Then, what do I need to do?
You can.
Oh, just pull it out.
You can just
I don't
spend
have to-
a few seconds or a minute
okay,
or whatever,
cool.
just like pulling it out, yeah, trying to not
yeah.
do any damage to your axe.
Okay.
You're
I
not
look.
worried about the door, evidently.
No, I don't think we're gonna get through this door this way.
Have you perhaps created a bit of an inch in the wood? Maybe I could try and peer through it in some fashion. Is there some sort of keyhole or something like that? You mentioned that, well, I saw that it was locked previously.
Whoa.
Wait.
What?
My axe got stuck in it, but I don't know if I don't know if you can see through.
There is a keyhole under the handle.
Can I look through?
You can look through, yeah.
Do I see
to-
any entities, anything in this room that seems aggressive in nature?
No, you see the back of a chair.
I can't see anything in the chair. No arms on the armrests
No.
to the side of it.
No. You can't see the people. You see the back of an empty wooden chair, and what appears to be. Yeah, you'd be able to see a desk.
I have a plan. If you hear any screaming, do try a lot harder than you have so far to get through this door, and I'll then misty step into the room.
Ooh.
What?
Okay. I don't have to pull you in here without revealing it to everyone else, but I guess it doesn't really matter. I don't think that's.
I don't think you can without having an exact copy of this map.
No. There you go. And you go.
I will search the room for everything in the room, and I'll take some time doing it because I've got about 10 minutes or so quite happily to do that without it really affecting anyone.
Would you like to do an investigation roll?
So you guys see like a brief moment of like silvery mist surrounding me as I just dissipate into nothingness and then poof into the other side. Investigation. 22.
Okay. What are you three doing?
I'm just wandering around the room a bit.
Oh, fuck's sake. Keep dropping shit.
Yes,
Stop
yes, I'm quite
falling.
good. I can hear you. The door's made of wood, which begs the question, why haven't we opened it yet? But yes, I can hear you.
Can you unlock it from that side?
I'm not certain. I'm searching for a key amidst other things.
Okay. Yell if there's any danger. Is it a large room?
I would say it's roughly 20 by 20 feet, approximately.
Okay.
There's something green in the corner. I'm not quite sure what it is.
Is it dangerous?
It's amorphous in some fashion. Sevi, care to chime in on what I can find in the room?
Taryn.
I was waiting to see what the others are doing first.
Okay.
You have found something. It is in your journal.
Yeah, huh? Awesome.
Taryn, could you go check out the other door for
Which other door?
the other door in the
Oh, that
in the
door.
corridor?
I'll
see if
I'll
that's
go
a-
I'll go with Taran
Okay.
to make sure he's okay.
I just do a little bit of a humming sort of step along.
Is
as
that
I go
all I
up to the
find
door.
in the room?
How are you searching exactly?
With my hands, and by hands I mean mage hands.
Okay, so you look around the room. Just using your hands, opening drawers. There's a bookshelf to the side.
Yeah, I want to
There's-
smush that green thing. I want to open anything that opens. I want to look at everything in the desk. I want to look under
The
the
green
desk.
thing's just an armchair.
Okay, cool.
Like a
I want to
empty arm.
see what's in that wooden-looking thing on my left.
Are you talking about? Oh man, I'm not on the.
This.
What is that? Yes, that thing. That's a small chest. You open it and it's unusually empty.
No, you're right.
Can I? It's
Okay.
my tokens, right? Can I see
And
if there's like a
is
false
a-
bottom or something like that?
Yep, you can try. Sleight of hand, I guess. You're trying to see if there's any like hidden locks that you'd be able to
19.
remove with your fingers or something. You can't find anything. And in the drawers, you find a pen
Okay.
and nothing else. Roll a perception check for me.
Oh, I'm good at them. Oh no, I'm not. I lied. 14.
You find it very odd that there's nothing in this room and it unnerves you.
Okay.
You feel like there's something in here. You can't quite figure out what or why you can't find it.
Can I fire off a few ray of frosts?
Yep, you can.
I've got
What,
my letter.
what exactly?
Different things in the room: the armchair, the desk, those small wooden chairs. It's a cantrip. I'm just gonna do it a bunch of
Yeah.
times.
Nothing really happens other than you making the room look like it's snowing a little bit and it get very cold.
Okay. Is there any sort of key in here to get through the door?
Nope, and you can't get out either.
That's what you think. Eden, I find myself somewhat trapped in here. I've used a little bit of power to enter here, and I would be thankful if I wouldn't have to use the same amount of power to get back out again. Would you mind? And as I say that, having looked through the door to see that he's still there, I will move away from the door as much as I can.
Okay. Well, I'll give it a go. Make sure you're not on the other side of this door.
Okay, you two wait there.
Feel
We'll
free
cut
to
back
aim for either the hinges or the lock.
Wait.
Yeah,
You
you're
two
cutting
wait
back to them. I was just wrapping up.
What are you two doing?
Trying to open the door.
I
Okay.
just go for the handle. and
Do you
just-
both, Avalyn, do you want to roll a strength with advantage?
He's trying to open the door first with the handle.
I literally just go for the handle.
It turns, it doesn't feel locked, and as you push it, it seems to be stuck against something. So you've got a very slight gap into the room, like the door's trying to open, but it's not. It feels like there's something stuck behind it.
I look just up to Evelyn, sort of a little glance at her. Definitely much stronger arms than mine, and I step back and just like, you want to push it?
Did you say flat strength?
Yes, but with the advantage.
13.
Okay, it takes you a good 10 minutes, but between the two of you pushing and shoving against the door, you manage to get the door open.
What?
Mm,
Hold on.
yay!
Like, it takes you a good 10 minutes, both of you having to push through, finding some rocks on the floor, moving a rock out of the way, both of you pushing again, then Taryn sort of crawling on the floor, trying to push more rocks while Avalyn's pushing it and using her shield as sort of a wedge in between, putting your shield in and sort of giving yourself a bit of
Leverage.
leverage, that's the word I'm looking
Yeah.
for. And eventually you get in both a bit sweaty and very dirty hands.
You find
Um,
yourselves alone, sweaty, and having just accomplished something.
And you enter this room.
You're not
Taryn
here.
begins mumbling.
Two children.
You don't know what I'm doing. Shut up.
Mumble, mumble, mumble. Are we gonna move on?
What in here?
I look over this room, this side of the room. He looks over that side of the room.
I look at the big statue.
You are both
So-
killed.
Roll
It
investigation.
feels like you're in a strange room that used to have some other statues apart from the intact one you can see in the center of the room. They seem to have been damaged in some fashion. You're not too sure if it's almost like it's been a cave in, but not quite. Like the other two have been damaged. Obviously, that's what's caused the blockage in the door. Some of the statues have fallen and smashed and got wedged behind the door, but nothing was locked specifically. You can't tell what the two statues from the left to the right were. You can't really see anything else in the other rooms. The most prominent thing that you can see is this big statue, which is perfectly intact. And seems to have its palms outwardly facing you, as if it's trying to give you something, and with an empty space in between its palms.
I wanna
It's giving you a handy.
get both of my hands and just sort of grab the palms, just to see if something happens.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Fair enough. I want to have a look around the base and everything, see if there's anything else, like a switch or something. I don't know.
Do you want to roll investigation for me?
I do indeed. There's a 9. I'm rolling shit today. Not quite that one shit, but regular shit.
Are you rolling investigation? Sorry.
Yeah, it's a 9.
Okay, cool. Oh, sorry. My thingy wasn't updating properly. Okay. You root round. You can't find anything.
Fuck.
What was that?
That was my mum screaming.
Oh,
Is Lucy still there?
Doesn't sound like she should be.
I'm here. Stuff's happening downstairs. Just continue.
That's fine. For the sake of time, because she's talking to mum or whatever, let's just say that you're both looking around the room. I would assume that she's probably doing the same. Do you want to roll it again? So I say it was an advantage of both of you doing it.
Etten, have you seen my messages?
I have, yeah.
Go.
Okay, you can't find much. You two are gonna carry on. Either it's up to you. You guys can carry on looking, trying to find something. You feel like this room is. There's definitely a sense of importance about this room, but you don't really know why.
I'm still looking.
If you guys want to stay looking, I can cut back to the other two, or you can go off and do something else. It's up to you.
Yeah, go to the other two, because sort of what's
Okay.
happening.
Cool, no worries. Back to you two. What are you doing? Do you want to read out your messages, Josh, just so...
Oh, okay. Whilst we have some time, as you're... I just thought that maybe it would be a good time for you to maybe tell you about this note I found.
What's that? I can't hear you behind all this slamming against the door.
Just that I found a note in the table here, and I've then decided to have at the room a bit and try and uncover whatever mysteries it perhaps has, but perhaps we could time this in some fashion. Maybe you could, you carry on hitting and I'll speak in between. Carry on.
Josh, could you, as Etin slams into the door, for some reason you weren't expecting the third slam. It came very quickly. You're not too sure what he's done to hit twice so hard. But could you roll a dex saving throw for me?
Yes.
Because you were quite frightful.
9.
Wonderful. You were getting closer to the door and closer to the door as you're trying to yell through and explain to him what's happened, and this knock comes a bit louder and quicker than you were expecting. You end up taking a jolt back, and as you jolt back, you fall on the floor, and your lantern falls. I assume your lantern was on your waist.
My lantern's been on the whole time, by the way.
It's not what you said.
It's what we agreed last session. You said it
I don't
lasts
think
6
so.
hours. I said, okay, we'll just leave it on then.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you're walking around with a lantern. I said, what are you walking around looking with? And you said, your hands.
The mage
I
hand.
assumed it was on
no,
your hip.
it's on my hip, but on my hip.
Okay.
It burns for 6 hours, sheds bright light in a 30-foot radius and dim light for a 30-foot radius. Creatures have disadvantage on perception checks that rely on some invisible creatures / objects are visible in the lantern's bright light. So anything that's invisible in here, that's within 30 feet of me or my hip, is no longer invisible as per the lantern's thing.
Only if the light is reaching stuff.
Yeah, but I've turned around. It's on. The lantern is on my hip. It has a caged glass exterior, so it's not like the fire is lighting me up.
I've returned.
Hello.
Hello.
I feel like if you're looking inside things and it's on your hip, I don't feel like the light is going into specific things.
That's fair.
Like in
I agree with that.
drawers and whatnot, I feel like you would have to put the light in those places for
Okay,
it to
well,
work.
yeah, given that the lantern exists and that you're telling me the light wasn't permeating the drawers, I suppose I would have lifted it along with my search.
Okay, very well. If that's okay.
You could have had me roll history. I'm just saying I'm really good at it. I would have remembered that I had a lantern. But Kovu remembers he has a lantern, is all I'm saying.
Well, Kovu thought his lantern was looking through wood, apparently.
Josh didn't remember he had a lantern, is all I'm saying.
I didn't realise light penetrated through wood, but there you go.
It bounces off of shit.
It's a weak argument, you know.
So what invisible things do I find instead?
Where are you looking for?
I'll look where I found the pen.
Okay, well, you found the pen. You also find a diary. Bear with me. You have to wait for me to get it.
Have you not broken the door down yet? How many swings does it take? I appreciate that you're helping me out here, but you're quite a large fellow, Etin. I have to say, a little bit humbled, to be honest.
Well, I don't know why this door's taking so long to get through. I want to just take a massive swing at this door because I'm sick and tired of hearing this freaking guy complain about my method.
Are you going for the lock? Are you going for the hinges? Are you simply trying to craft some sort of?
I'm going for through the door.
Just going through. Yes, I thought that might be the case. That does explain it. As I mentioned before, carry on. It is certainly your time with the door. I won't cross you.
Okay. You find a diary in the drawer next to the pen.
I would like to read the diary.
You may. It's in your journal, I believe. You have to tell me if I haven't done it
So
wrong,
many
by the way.
journal things.
I know, right?
Okay.
Busy.
I seem to have come across something, Etin, actually, whilst you're here. Oh, perfect. It seems that perhaps the door was no match for you at all, friend. Have you seen... This seems to be a detailed diary containing notes and recipes for a number of magical experiments. The main focus seems to be around giving mundane objects various magical properties. Somewhat water damaged and written in a number of languages. Fortunately, I speak quite a number of languages. Common, Elvish, Giant, Dwarvish, Halfling.
Fabulous.
Okay.
Can you roll Arcana for me?
Certainly, that is actually something that I am actually good at. Go. 24.
Fabulous. And then you learn this.
Is that in my journal?
Mhm.
Okay.
It's updated in the information box.
Ooh. It has. There's a whole chapter here around specific orbs that seem to be particularly good at retaining conjuration and adjuration magic.
Yeah, sorry.
It seems like this fellow perhaps was writing this somewhat hastily. We won't judge him. He's probably had a lot on his plate.
Very well. Where else were you looking, sorry?
Everywhere. The armchair, the little chest, the chest that was empty before.
Yes, the chest. You found the empty chest. You find 2 translucent orbs.
Oh, okay. I will spend 10 minutes casting Detect Magic. Sorry, Etin, this is probably incredibly boring for you. Please, you feel free to join the other group if you wish, or you can sit in that armchair if you like.
I'm gonna come back. Cut back to these 2.
Mhm.
Avril.
Wait, just
You
before
go-
you do, Etin, do you sit in the armchair?
He's
No.
not in the room.
Okay. I just wanted to know
No.
if he was going to sit down or not.
Shut up.
I feel like he was about to sit on somebody
you moved
invisible.
some of the you with the pair of you trudging through this armor. It's been about 15, probably nearly 20 minutes now since you left the other guys and collectively. You move a bunch of the rubble, and just by the door, under a really big rock that you've eventually moved, it seemed seamlessly. You move it out of the way, and you find a key.
A key?
A key?
A key.
I swear to God, if it's the key to the fucking door. It will be. Wait, who found the key specifically? Or was it just sort of a combined effort?
Joint effort. You're both moving that rubble out behind the door,
The
clearing
key.
the door. You weren't actually looking for anything at this point, but you were thinking, let's move all the crap behind the door so we can get in and out easier. And as you did, you found a key that was sort of like under the door frame.
I
Or, like,
take the key,
whatever it is.
I hop over to this door, and I see if it works on it.
Nope.
Okay.
Didn't I?
Do you think we should head back to the others, see if this key works for something else?
Sure, we can see if it unlocks that door that's down there.
Okay.
There's no door there. I know you don't know that yet, but...
We
Oh, you can't hear me.
we
Josh, your
journey
mic-
back.
your mic
Yeah,
is on.
Josh
No,
is.
it's fine,
Yeah,
it's
he's
fine,
muted.
it's fine.
Yeah, he's aware. I don't really know why he thinks that's okay and not just unmuting himself, but.
We
busy.
wander down here, and about as I get here, I sort of see the remains of what was a door. And I'm like,
No, the door's
Oh.
not broken. It has a lot of buds in it and a lot of scratches. Etin's looking very sweaty.
I thought Etin broke
Um,
broke through it. That's what we said earlier. I mean, it wasn't confirmed by you, but...
No, I never confirmed the door got broken through. You're just damaging it a lot. You're not through it.
Oh.
well, I'm looking at a very damaged door, and I'm like, shit.
We found a key, Etin. Shall we try that instead?
Well, if you think your key is going to do better than my axe, then go right ahead.
I sort of just slink past in front of him. And I go to try it on the lock.
Oh, please. Please go right ahead.
And with a solid click, the door.
Oh, you found the key at... Oh, hello, Taryn. Oh, very good. Thank you.
What's in here then? I just sort of
all
ignore the
all
situation.
sorts of things if you remember that you've got a lantern. I'm actually just taking the moment to discover the nature of these two orbs, if you wouldn't mind, and I go back to my spell, ritual casting detect magic.
What
I
did
wanna
you
look around the room then.
What did you guys find on down the corridor then?
Well, we found the key to that door. And there's some statues and
Quite useful.
not really much else. I do believe this place was once a place of worship and of teaching about the the divines, the gods.
I have documents to support that theory.
You do? Oh, perfect.
I'm slightly in the middle of something. I'll discuss with you afterwards.
Okay. What have you two discovered?
Well, I discovered that my axe can't get through this door. Other than that, nothing else really. In fact,
Yeah.
there was a letter in there. Did you guys hear anything about the letter? They wouldn't.
No,
would
no,
they?
we
No, they
wouldn't
were too
have.
far away. But whilst I'm casting my spell, I'll just pull the letter out again and like kind of whip it on the floor a little bit over to Etin, so
Yeah.
that you guys can
cool.
read it whilst I carry on casting.
I'm
Thank
stood
you.
right next to him, so I'll take it. And I'll just be like, huh? And
Yeah,
then tip it
I'll
over.
Okay.
repost the message. There you go.
Right.
I mean, I don't know exactly what's gone down in this place, but all I know is that we need to get out of here. Hurry up and finish this mission.
I wholeheartedly agree. As soon as Kovu's done with his spell, we'll move on to the next area. Try and get
Oh.
through.
I'll walk up to the door and be like, Kovu, can you hurry up? Like, what's taking you so long?
I'm sort of just muttering, not unlike Taryn when he's in a tizzy, and I have my spellbook open in front of me, and I'm kind of like running my finger along the lines as I read the incantations necessary to cast the spell.
Can't you do that while you're walking? Huh?
You ignore it in because you're basically at the end of the spell, and as you complete the spell, you You get the distinct feeling that there's abjuration magic within these orbs, but it seems to be tampered
already
with
knew that.
in some way.
I want to know what they do.
Cool. You don't.
You don't know
They
what they
glow
do.
slightly, and they have abjuration magic that's been tampered with in some fashion.
Glow with LED lights that say "fuck off."
Yeah.
I want to come back to this water, and I want to use my shape water thing to freeze it. I want to freeze that entire 5-foot space and see if I can stand on it.
You can certainly try.
Hey, Evelyn, here he goes again with that freezing whatchamacallit.
So you freeze the top. You freeze about 5 feet's worth of water, and you can
check
step
on it.
onto it. It's very slippy. Like you do not feel steady standing on this, and you are still completely surrounded by water.
Well, I'm stood on it though, aren't I?
You are, although tentatively, you think you may slip and fall.
Taryn, be careful. If you fall in that water, you're going to get a cold. Your ice will be making it freezing cold.
I want to use the because I'm pretty sure I can cast multiple effects of shape water. I'm just gonna double check.
It's worth bearing in mind that ultimately cantrips are cantrips, and despite the spell not specifically saying you can freeze an entire lake if you take 10 years to freeze 5 foot at a time, you're limited by the fact that this is an incredibly weak spell.
Also, I do feel like if you were to freeze an extra 5 feet, wouldn't it unfreeze the previous 5 feet?
No, technically, the water that you've frozen unfreezes in an hour.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I'm not planning on freezing any other part. I'm sitting
Okay, cool.
on my sheet of ice. I want to sit on there specifically. Make sure
Okay.
I'm holding. And I
Do
want
you
to
want to make a dex saving throw?
Fine.
It is a
Coming you
cube.
up.
It is a cube. To be fair to Taryn, it's a 5 foot cube. It's not a
Yeah, no,
sheet
it is a
that he's
cube. But
going
if
to
you're
smash
standing
through.
on top of a 5 foot cube and you want to sit down on it, you've got to try and lower
Yeah, that's-
yourself
yeah,
on
yeah,
ice
yeah,
to sit on
totally.
it.
I've made it as a sheet, so not a
Oh, there you
big
go.
cube. But then it will just sort of rotate and no.
I don't think you can.
No, I think it has to be a cube.
You freeze
It
the water provided
fits
there are
within a 5-foot cube. It doesn't.
okay.
Oh
with
yeah,
the-
yeah, that's true. So you could make it thin. It's limited to 2 uses of the spell.
Yeah, you can only have like 2 effects.
2 effects
active.
up at any one time. Yeah.
So basically, once I've done this saving throw,
Okay. So I assume you want it to be. How thick do you want this to be?
Thick enough to support his weight.
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Fuck my life. Why does the rolling hate me today?
I think it hates everyone today, man.
Yeah, you've all been rolling.
Honestly,
together,
we've
so it's fine.
been.
Yeah, I've already rolled
Um,
that one.
You
so-
tried to lower yourself and you
I'm doing
realise that
fine.
this is going to actually be really, really difficult. You think you're going to fall and slip and get water. And then you realise you've done it by the step. So you take a step backwards onto concrete ground and then from there you lower yourself onto the ice rather than trying to sit down on the ice.
Look, I mean, seriously, how deep really can this water be? I mean, Goliath.
Etten
I'm a-
drowns.
I want to freaking walk in there. All this pussyfooting around in this water.
So
Alright.
am I back on the on the ice? Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
As he's going through his little monologue and everything, I use shape water again to change the flow of the water to direct my sheet of ice little platform
I like it.
to make it sail across the top.
How long do
Easily.
you do that for?
It's just instantaneous changes the flow
Okay.
up to 5 feet in any direction. So
Okay. So move your character as you're moving.
I
yeah.
feel
So he is
like the
sitting
weight,
and floating on a piece of ice.
the weight of his ice and him is just not going to move very fast.
Oh,
I
that's
don't
fine.
care.
This is a fun thing. It's happening.
Yeah, he's using his imagination, Josh.
So
No,
fun.
I'm
Like,
not. I'm just saying.
Just stop bringing like physics into
You
this.
move and I'll reveal as you move.
It's a
Essen,
very
what are
good
you
use of the spell. I like it.
doing?
Yeah.
Very creative. I'm impressed.
Go, Josh. I mean, go. Sorry. go, Taryn. Go.
There's nothing here.
You
Keep
haven't gone
going.
north yet.
Keep
Shit.
going,
I can't
Taryn.
see
Go.
you anyway. Sevi, just as a sidebar, I'd like to do 2 things.
Uh-huh.
Can I fully check the room with the lantern just to ensure that I've found everything that's possibly invisible?
Yes, you can, and yes, you have.
And can I discern whether or not these orbs are going to tell me more if I spent some time attuning to them?
You think that they've been messed with in a way, in combination with the diary and what's going on in this room. You feel like someone spent a lot of time messing with these orbs to make them do a certain thing, and you don't think you're going to be able to figure that out within a reasonable scope amount of time. Like you'd have to spend days like trying to figure it out and have resources.
Well, what should I call them?
Transparent orbs.
2 transparent orbs require further investigation. Okay, and then hearing the hubbub of Taran repeatedly casting cantrips, I'm gonna head north and join the group slowly. Now that
I
the
want to
door's
look
open.
towards the right of me and look at whatever this white bit is. What is?
It seems to be the top of a very large door.
Oh, okay.
As in like 4 times, 5 times the size of the norm of the door to get to the study. And it seems to be built from iron rather than wood.
Okay.
Or some sort of heavy metal. It's got intricate details at the top, but it looks like you can only see, so you know as the door goes up and then it has the archway at the top?
Mhm.
You're seeing just the archway bits. You're seeing the semicircle top of the door. You're not seeing the straight part of the door.
Okay. I imagine if I turn myself to look at things, I'm just sort of doing a little bit of a swivel on the ice. Just sort of spinning a little bit.
Cool. So as you continue on through, I'll let you travel on through, and we'll cut back to you three. Well, Avalyn, what are you doing? He's gone.
I run round to the main area once again as he's like traveling to try and like look over here and see if I can see him from this point. And then I see that he's gone past that bit, and I like run round to the next bit.
Yeah, you see him.
And
As
I'm
you
like
get to the top, you see him coming round.
waiting over here. I'm just like, Taran, what do you see?
You mean to tell me that the boy is sitting somewhat cross-legged on a sheet of ice he created entirely by himself, and is
Floating
using the ability to manipulate water to slowly traverse this entire cavern rather, and we felt this was a good idea and that he should do it alone.
You're
Well,
goddamn
you
right.
know, I
What
clearly couldn't have done it.
I relay
You
the
see
information.
what you think you can see through the top of the water. So it's not coming out of the water, but through sort of like the top 3 feet of water. As you look down and through the water a little bit, you think you can see the top of a door frame. 2 of them.
Okay.
Remember, you think.
But they are fully submerged.
I relay the information about the other door and everything, and I just sort of say about the fact that it's like, you know, I think most of it down here is just submerged way too much. I don't know if there's a way to clear the water or whatever, or just swim through it, but probably it, and I just continue sort of
Perhaps you
sailing
could shape it in some sort of fashion.
Tim, what are you doing?
very far away, Cove.
I am going to make my way towards the room that they came from, the one that they had opened.
Yep.
I'd like to have a look, see.
Well, in the time that he's slowly pedaled his way around the thing, we can say that you're in the room.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm here. And I'd like to investigate once again. Right, I don't know what it was that they found.
So, give a brief description. The on the left and the right seems to be old, crumpled statues. You think there used to be still statues there, but you cannot tell for love nor money what they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you can come with. You can see 2 piles of rocks in the different corners. A very big pile of rocks on this side. That's where Taran and Avalyn have moved all the rocks so that they could get it, and from what their description, that's where you think they may have found the key. And then you see this perfectly intact statue of a man in a robe. Kovu, you'd recognize him as to be some sort of you don't recognize him specifically, but given the robe and how he is dressed, you get the feeling that he is some sort of spellcaster, so either like a wizard or a sorcerer or something. The statue. I'm
Alright.
not done talking yet. It's perfectly intact, which is a little strange given that the rest of the room is completely crumpled. And he has his palms outwards in an upward-facing fashion, basically next to each other, almost looking like he's trying to give something and push forward. And they're cradled in kind of like a cup hand position, similar to how the picture looks.
Okay.
Empty.
Could I try and with my brute strength, can I try and like move rocks around, see if there's anything around me, like have a look at these wherever these two
Do
kind
his
of
hands
pillars are?
move? Do the statue's hands move in any fashion?
No, they do not. And you can move stuff around Etin, but you cannot find anything other than rock and rubble. And this strangely perfect statue who looks like he's trying to give you something.
Okay. He's trying to give me something. Okay. Can I investigate the
The
statue
lantern
further?
cannot see anything. Yep. Lantern is not showing anything. No, that's correct.
Okay. Could I investigate the statue further, please?
Yep. You can have a. Do you want to roll? Do you want to roll investigation? Yeah, you have.
13.
What are you thinking, Kovu? I know you guys might not be able to hear him, but I can.
So we got the statue. I've seen the room, even though I can't see it right now because I'm in the kitchen. The statue
Well, you can
doesn't
come
move in
look
any
at it
way.
here. I don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, all I'm thinking is is there something else in the room that we've missed? Or B, what kind of thing does it look like the statue is either offering or expecting? Does it look
Yeah.
as though its hands are close together to expect sort of like a single item, like a jewel? Okay, so it's not looking for like a sword, for example, and its hands aren't like that expecting a weapon.
No, the hands
they're
are next to
cupped,
each other, sort of
essentially.
in this fashion.
Okay.
Like,
Cut.
Can I
outwards
put some gold
facing.
in its hand?
Yes. How much gold do you put in there?
50.
50 gold.
That's all I have.
Fuck yeah.
Nothing happens.
I take my 50 gold back. That's everything I have.
Same Midas.
Okay. Did we pick up anything along our journey? No, I don't think we did.
Can I put the lantern in its hands?
Yeah.
I would like to.
Nothing happened.
I'll take it back.
Okay. Or maybe something along.
Max saying I'm cutting in and out.
He's saying maybe something, and that's as far as he got.
Oh, okay. Carry on. Max.
So maybe something along Taran's journey is going to find something to place into his hand.
You think that the boy is going to find something on his adventures?
Oh, I mean, who knows? Who knows?
Well,
I
it's
mean,
certainly
right now,
not without merit. It just seems a strange.
Do you want to roll a d20 for me, Josh? As a
Do you want to roll it for me? Wait, have you got dice? I want to roll
yeah.
it.
That's what I thought. You got to roll more mini dice though.
18?
Let's see. Okay.
damn.
You think it the way he's holding his hand out to you is almost it reminds you of a, like how someone would ask for food as a child or in a bowl. You find it oddly circular.
Okay.
I'm going to put one of the orbs that I have from the room into his hand. One of the
Okay.
transparent orbs.
One of your transparent orbs. Is that the official name for the orb?
Two times transparent orb requires further investigation. Is their official name?
Okay. So you hear an exceptionally loud clunk and a
Ooh.
very big whoosh of water.
What?
And then you have to bear with me for a moment.
I'm going to look back at Etin and just go, I'm not certain, but I think I've killed Taran.
Well.
Bear with me.
No, I
So
suppose
be
it's not the
it.
biggest loss, I suppose.
Do I hear this
His
whoosh?
life lasted
Yep,
long
you
enough.
all hear the
Do I feel the whoosh?
You will certainly
I-
be missed.
I call out for the others. Is everyone okay?
Shit. We're fine.
Yeah, we're okay. Did you
What was that noise? What have you done?
I gave a man an orb.
What has that done? What?
has anything happened out there?
Sorry, guys. Bear with. I'm trying to figure out your locations.
I think perhaps the water's right.
Where's Taran?
On the ice. On the water.
Can you warn him that we might have done something?
Evelyn, you can see water. You're standing in front of the steps, right?
Yeah, you can see I'm standing right on that like step. Like I imagine I'm like ankle deep, where I'm like I've got 1 foot on the lower step, and I'm kind of like
Cool.
looking out.
Could you all just look at the map and remember where you are specifically?
Oh, I
Mhm.
assume
Yeah.
I'm in front of the statue.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, cool.
No, go away. For God's sake.
You asked me to remember where I was on the map.
No, not you, obviously. I just told you're in front of the map.
Just in case this doesn't go too well, Evelyn, I'd like to say that everything I just mentioned.
They can't hear you over the immense whooshing and crashing noises.
Ooh.
I'm also on the other side of the place, so I definitely.
Oh.
This is very cool and different.
I think this is. Oh, how do I do this? That's how I do this. Etin, you
I
are
was
in
right.
this room,
I was there.
and Kovu, you. Oh,
Can I
Kovu,
look?
You are here. No.
Oh.
1 minute. I will zoom in a minute, and then you can come over and have a look. But currently, no. Tarrant, I believe you were up there. So if you could just, I might. Oh wait, I might have to reposition. Oh, have you guys got access to yourselves? You can move yourselves, yeah.
Yep.
You remember?
Wait.
I don't know if I changed. No, wait, I just changed. Never
Yes.
mind.
Yes, I can.
That was
The
actually
grid is ever so slightly off as to what it was before, but ultimately it doesn't hugely matter because you're not in combat or anything. It's just ever so slightly off, just in case you're one. Let me look back. Trying to get in a position so that. Okay, do you want to come have a looks?
Ooh.
But where am I? Oh, I'm in the top right.
No, you're down here. You're
Oh,
with
I'm
the
in front of the
statue.
statue.
You've just put the orb in.
Okay, so what am I looking at? Oh, you mean the water has changed?
Yeah, all the water's gone. We've got space now at the top. There's all this stuff that we can see, and then there's another
Came up to
there's
you.
and there's another statue on the right.
So I
Okay.
assume you guys are going to go
But
exploring.
in terms of being...
Don't move it, because there's stuff that you can't see on here.
No, I'm just going back to where I was before. In terms of being here, I can't see it.
No, but I assume you guys are going to leave, hearing the crushing.
Leave Kinetin. Yeah,
wave.
but whilst I continue to cook dinner, for now, given that all the same as before, I'm just going to go.
Okay.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Taryn's probably fine, and nothing seems to have changed. Carry on.
Well, you have heard a lot of banging, clunking, like mechanical gears, and a lot of flushing water is the wrong word, but like draining water, I guess, on a large scale.
Mhm.
So you know something's happening.
Yeah, but I feel like I
not
might have
seen
killed
it,
Taryn
but
before, and now it seems like maybe not too much has changed.
Well, then
so I'm just,
maybe you do think you haven't seen anything. Maybe he is dead.
I'm
I
fine
want
either
to
way.
use the cantrip message to send a message to Evelyn, just like, the water's changed. I'm cool though, and I'm just sort of still floating.
You are still floating.
And I'm just kind of like, oh, like kind of shiver a bit.
Is it
What's this?
that apparent how deep the water is still? Like, is it very deep still where I am?
You'd say it's probably gone down by a good 7 feet.
7
Oh.
range, people.
And there's still a lot of water going down.
How much is this door revealed? Because I'm assuming this is another one of those doors.
It looks like it's probably halfway, maybe a little bit. Yeah, no, probably about halfway through the door now.
Okay. I'm gonna sail back down this
And you
way.
can definitely roll an investigation check for me.
Okay.
Which is
19!
going
Fuck yeah.
pretty well, I'd say.
19. You can see some strange writing at the top of the door.
Speak friend and enter?
What languages do you speak?
Right, I speak, I believe it's, Common, Elvish, Draconic, and Infernal.
Hmm.
Could you all put in the
Fancy
chat what
exotic
languages you
languages.
speak? Because I'm not going to
I
be
speak
able to
every
remember all of that.
I speak every
Every
normal
language.
basically. I speak Giant, Common, Elvish, Dwarvish, or Dwarven, and the fifth one that I forget. Gnomish. Halfling.
Do I understand this writing at all? That's the question.
Yes, it says unlock in order or not at all.
Ah.
I want to relay the information to Avalon from what I'm seeing right now. Just like there's
Okay.
a message above this door. This is what it says. If you want to like send that to the others, because I can't seem to reach them from here.
Have the
I
transparent
want to
orbs
go
changed
tell-
in any fashion? Sorry,
Um,
Evelyn.
Not particularly. It's definitely glowing though, as it sits on the palm of his hands, sort of in like a very faint pulsing way, sort of in rhythm with a heartbeat.
I tell Etin and Kovu that the water's changed and that Taran has discovered this new puzzle to unsolve. Like that we have to open them in order or not at
Solve it.
all, and then I just immediately go back out.
Okay.
Did you heard?
I heard most of that. Did you say you shouted that, Evelyn, down to us?
No. I walked down to the room and told you that the water's changed, and Taran has found this door, and it says we have to open them in order or not at all. And I'm like, come along, and then I like go back out because I'm like, don't want to leave Taran on his own. So.
Okay.
I also sail back up to here.
Where
investigate.
exactly is this puzzle? Is it somewhere that's easily accessible?
No, it's still in the water. It's about halfway uncovered.
I see. Perhaps there's a. The only reason I bring it up is that when I was in that room, I've come across two of these orbs. I only placed one in the statue's hands, and it seems to have activated in some fashion. Yep.
Then the next
Okay.
one will come.
It suggests to me that perhaps there is a second, yes, as you've determined, Evelyn. Perhaps we should head down that strange passage from the western side that we went down earlier, and maybe there'll be a similar device there that might lower the water to a point that we can enter one of these entryways that you've discussed. I'm not familiar with what is on the dazzling journey that Taran has been on the outer skirts of this dungeon. I've only been predominantly in the south, from what I can determine.
Yes.
I want to
I'm going
investigate.
to head back to the strange passage.
Yes. I want to also investigate these weapons on the floor and things. Ooh.
How antiquated.
Okay, she's doing a thing.
On his shit.
Hey guys, sorry about that. I was mute. Avalon, could you just roll a perception check for me as you sort of look around this room and try and sort of understand what is here?
Lovely. I see nothing. I'm focused on.
I'm look too.
Where are they looking, Sevi? Are they
do an
looking at a place
assisted
that me
one?
rolling is relevant or not?
No,
Okay,
you
no
haven't,
worries.
you haven't been up
Carry
there
on.
yet. You are just completely in awe with this entire experience. You feel very unnerved that this much water, like you're starting to try and calculate how much water that is. You feel
Could
like
this be?
an entire river has just disappeared. Bear with me one moment.
Could this be an assisted like perception thing? Because I'm also here.
I was gonna get you to roll investigation separately.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I'm cool with that.
And as much as you can see, thrown like weapons and various items on the floor, your brain's just not computing right now. Where you are, there was a big library. Now suddenly it's like a lake has just emptied. You're very confused by the whole situation. What's going on here? Do you want to roll an investigation for me, Tara?
23.
Very nice. So you look around the room, look at all the items. You notice in the top right corner there seems to be a big drain. You feel like that might be where your water has been expelled. And as you continue to look around, you see a lot of weapons, but they're not actually proper weapons. They're they're much more almost wooden swords and shields, if you like, and tall wooden poles that seem to have broken, and everything's severely water damaged. It all looks like driftwood. And as you sort of look around and you see all these weapons, you realise that actually these never would have done much damage, and you feel like this may have been some sort of training room.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there also an actual umbrella in the corner?
Oh my
No,
God.
stop. Sorry. I don't notice I'd have cut that out, but these are actually really big maps.
Oh my God.
I imagine
my God,
umbrellas would
that's-
exist.
And you also notice 2 normal-looking doors to the north, which you thought you saw already.
I wanna hippity hop over to this door and be like, "Hey, Aaron, come check this out. These might."
Okay,
Right.
I'll go over to this door and I want to like press my ear to it and see if I can hear anything before trying.
Literally go to
You
just.
can hear nothing.
Okay. Then-
Taryn, you can walk straight into the room. Although as you do open, like it is like the door is completely trashed and ruined, and the whole floor is just wet and
Just like
soft.
that really gross kind of squeaky
Grossness.
sound that wood makes when it's.
And there's a distinct smell in this whole training area and this room, like mildew and sort of. It smells like rotten wood. Like when you've been to, if you've ever been to the docks by the sea, all the ships, like you sort of get that kind of faint woody, watery smell. It's not pleasant. It doesn't smell like mold or anything, but it's not nice. It smells old and damp, and it's not nice to touch things. There, like the door has that kind of weird slime to it. It doesn't really make much sense from like the water. Obviously, there's no seaweed or anything like down here, so it's not quite the same. But everything being caked in a stagnant water for so long has sort of left it with a strange residue.
Smell disgusting.
Yep, it is disgusting.
Well, I want to investigate room.
Okay, do you want my investigation? What are you doing, Evelyn? You've listened through the door and you have heard nothing apart from maybe some drips.
Can I try open this door as well?
You can open this door. It's quite stiff. Do you want to roll a
Push.
strength check for me? Yeah.
Yep.
A big old shove.
Plus
Shove.
13.
Yep, that's fine. It takes a good
Yeah.
couple of bashes. You get your shield in front of you and you take a good old heave at it and you bash it open. You break the door. The bottom hinge breaks as you crash through. And you enter the bedroom.
Ooh,
What you both notice is despite the
disgusting.
sodden room and the awful stink. Oh, thank you. I didn't realise you were cooking for me too. You notice what appear to be beds in the corner. And you feel like it may be some kind of, do you want this? Linen.
Cheese.
Around the room. So you both come to the easy conclusion that these used to be bedrooms. Avelyn, do you want to roll investigation? Taryn, you already
Yes.
did, right? Is it your 7?
Yeah.
You really want to look around this room, but ultimately everything is gross. And you are tentatively picking things up with your pinch fingers, and you're really quite uncertain. You feel like there may be stuff in here that you can find, but ultimately there's only so far you're willing to go when it comes to touching gross, smelly, sticky stuff.
I very easily just sort of give up and I walk
Avelyn,
out.
the smell is so repulsive, despite the fact that you can see what appears to be a chest in the corner. You're so repulsed, you have to leave instantly. You're going to go find Taryn.
Yeah.
Make him do it.
Yeah, I go in there and I'm like, oh god, that's disgusting. And I'm like, Taryn, please, if you wouldn't mind going in there for me, please. It's disgusting.
I just sort of let out a kind of groan because I know what I experienced in the other room, so I'm just like, oh. And I go in anyway because I'm like, maybe there'd be something a bit more obvious than the other room. And I want to go in and look.
Yes, sorry, Josh. Etin, yep, you two can. You're gonna take outside. You're gonna take a breather for a few minutes, sort of, cool yourself down. Then you're gonna go back in and have another little look. Etin, what are you doing?
Where is
Me.
Kobu's
Kobu?
gone to look down the path to the west, where
I
you
checked
were.
out the crack place, but it was just more water, so I've gone to
Okay.
the path that we haven't checked out instead.
Okay.
Are you with him?
No, I'm going to
Oh, fine. Fuck you.
I'm going to travel
This-
out and
This is definitely where the next. Sorry.
go back to the main hall and see what has happened in that room with the water to the east, west. Sorry, because I'm assuming we haven't seen what's happened yet.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Cool.
I'd like to have a look around in this space. What do I see?
So you walk in. It's an extremely empty, eerie hallway, is what you can gather, with an exact replica of the statue you found in the room you were just in, with the same motion and same what's the word? Gesture, I guess is probably the correct word.
Okay. What about
And
these?
you also look in the bottom left corner, and you notice there seems to be some sort of gridded drain, and you feel like that may be where the water has gone.
Okay,
Oh shit.
cool. What about what?
You found what we're looking for. But I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, what about these here? What I'm clicking on? What are these here?
They're just old crumbled statues.
Old crumble statues.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, knowing that this is a similar statue to what we found before, I'm going to report back, please. I'm going to cut across to the east side. Oh crap! No, that doesn't help because that's not where we are. Crap. Okay. I'm gonna go back the way that we came. Try and follow Kovu and shout out to this guy. Like, hey Kovu, I found another one of them and then and then
As you
pause
put
because
orb straight in front of you.
When you come
put
around
it
the
on the
corner, I'm
statue.
just there, like orb in hand, like. Whoop.
As it lands on the statue, it starts doing that pulsing, and you hear the same clunk noise like you did before, as if giant cogs are moving, but no whoosh.
Okay.
I'm not certain, Etin, but I think maybe this time I've definitely killed Taryn.
Well, I was trying to tell you that I found another one of those statues, and going by what is it
Well,
Evelyn?
there's another
Yeah,
one.
going by what Evelyn said. She said that we need to do them in the right order, but so maybe this is the wrong one.
Well, I heard somewhat of a clicking noise. I take the orb out, given that I only have two. Is there a further clicking noise, or does it just stay quiet?
Yep, you hear the same cog turning noise that you heard before. Big clanking.
But no whoosh.
Okay. No whoosh.
Very well, let's try and put this one in the other one and see what happens.
All right.
Lead the way,
Sweet.
big fellow.
All right, sweet. So let's just fast travel.
Whoop.
Ooh.
Are the other two on a phone call?
I believe so.
Okay, we'll continue with this.
We're back.
You do
Hello.
the same thing? Oh,
Sorry.
hello. Okay, bear with me. Kovu, you place the orb on the statue.
Well, I'm kind of out of orb. Oh no, yeah, this one, yeah. Yeah.
You brought the one from the second place, right?
Mm-hmm.
The same thing happens. Big clink, no whoosh.
Oh.
Glowing.
What?
Right. Cut back to Avelyn and Taryn. What are you two doing?
Yes. Well, Taryn was investigating that chest in the corner,
Yeah,
and I am standing
You
outside.
guys
Like,
want to roll?
off over
Does
my
someone want
mouth.
to roll with advantage for investigation?
Yeah, that'll
I'll let
be.
you do it.
You know that kind of gross feeling that you get like just at the back of your throat.
You're like,
Like
"Ugh."
that's sort of what I've got while I'm just walking through. Like, huh.
Mhm.
Oh, I don't even need the advantage.
Nice.
Nat 20.
Okay,
Slowly offsetting the nat one.
you check out both rooms with the assistance of Avelyn, who's retching and gagging in the corner. You're slightly deterred by this because you thought she was made of stronger stuff, to be honest. Of all the things to cripple this strong woman, you didn't think it would be the smell of death. In this room, over here.
Mhm.
Oh, 1 minute. I've not got my pinging. Over here, you
Mhm.
find 2 minor healing potions.
Right, I'm gonna quickly write this down. Are they like common healing potions? Minor
Minor
ones.
is
what
the
they're called.
lowest, 2d4 plus 2.
Yeah, that's what I've got as well. Common
Mhm.
ones. So is it that one?
Yep, that one.
Okay, so add 2 more of those, yeah. Fuck yeah. Yep, continue.
3 gold and 12 silver.
3 gold and 2 silver. Yeah.
And in this room, oh, bear with me. You find so in 2 places. First, you find a chest, which,
Mhm.
as you open it, is strangely dry inside, but completely empty,
Mm.
which you find extremely unusual. Given that it seemed to held its shape so well and remained intact and unwater damaged, to have nothing in it, you find rather unusual. And as you look under what appears to be the bedroll mattress kind of area,
Yeah.
you find a stack of not a stack, that's probably not the right word. You find 5 keys.
I found what?
5 keys.
5 keys.
5 keys.
Are they
All
quite
very
similar
different.
to- Oh, very
5
different, okay.
keys, 7 rings.
They're all the same size, but they all have very different carvings on them. And they seem to have their own like design built into the top bit.
Okey-doke.
Ooh.
Well, is that everything?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna sort of shout over to Avalon, and at the same time, I want to look at the chat. Is it exuding any kind of arcane feeling from it? If you know what I mean. Like-
Roll arcane for me.
Yes. I think it is a +5. I can't remember. It is a +5.
So anyway, Etin, as I was talking, I
Shit.
find in these sort of excursions the best thing, simply the most perfect maneuver, is to split the party and have them go in completely different directions. In that way, you can cover much more ground, and certainly, you're no more prone to danger than you were before.
Well, I mean, I'm quite easy, to move around freely, but I'm just I'm trying to see what think about what it is that actually you had done with those orbs, because to me, I don't think anything really happened.
No, certainly the first one had an impact, but I believe
How
you're right.
about-
That,
The second
What-
one did the same thing as the first one. You heard a big clank, but no whoosh.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry. I mean the second and the third. They did the same thing.
second and third. Yeah. So what about taking off the first one? But
Yes,
before we take off,
I agree.
before we take off the first one, we put one on the other two, either on one of the other two.
well,
So it's
Avalon
so it's
spoke
already
of
in their
an
hand.
order, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If that order
Yeah.
is to place the first one, and then either the right or the left, we've done that. So, whilst I would imagine that your suggestion to remove the first one is quite astute, I wouldn't suggest that placing one now and then removing the first would do much. I think it's more within our interest to remove the first, and then
Yeah,
place
but-
either the left or the right as though that were the first.
But we wouldn't be able to, because the rooms would fill up with water again, I would imagine.
Well, perhaps, but we have no proof of it until it's tried.
Well, then let's get on it then.
Very well.
All right.
We head back to the first statue and remove
Wait.
the...
Let's do that just yet.
Slow down.
Well, let's warn the other two before we drown them.
No.
All right, cool. I'm gonna go back to the main hall. And
I'm
I
gonna
would
go back to that
imagine
statue and remove the orb.
do that in a minute. We warn the other
Are you being
two.
serious? Are you actually doing it without
mean-
going and talking to the others?
Kind of. I was doing the other ones whilst putting them in without talking to the others. I assumed we were all just going around trying things.
Okay, do you want to roll an intelligence check?
They're not going to drown because some water raised. I can swim.
Okay, fine. Do it then.
You don't know that.
12 is my intelligence check.
You do think that if you put the ball on there and water drained, but if you take it off, water might come back. But you don't know.
It's true.
See, I feel like...
Normally, if you turn a key in a lock one way, it locks it, and if you turn it the other way, it unlocks it. So,
Yeah, but surely I can just take the orb out of there, and if the water starts... If I hear the sound of whooshing, I'll put it back down. So if you want to confirm one way or the other whether or not removing the orb 100% makes the water come back, then feel free to say that I did that in game, because that's what I was going to do.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying what you were thinking at the time of
That's
coming
cool.
over.
So
to
I
do it.
removed the orb.
Okay.
Do I hear
You
the
hear a bit?
sound of water?
You do. You hear a big clank, and you hear the sound of rushing water.
I wait for a second. Do I hear any screams?
Where are the others? Sorry, I was at the. Taryn and Evelyn, you notice that through what appears to be holes in the ceiling of this training room, water seems to be
Oh.
pouring in.
Oh,
I run for the stairs.
I'm already on the stairs, so
Yeah,
I'm.
you're already on the stairs. Taryn, it's just about to hit your feet.
I
It's
turn
flooding
around.
in quite quickly.
I
Yeah.
turn around and kind of run towards Taryn to like kind of get him up faster and pull him through. And so now I'm like behind him as he goes
There's
up.
certainly no death rattles or blood curdling.
I'm gonna shout out
It's probably
to
about. It's probably about half a feet filled now
Etin.
in the training room, Taryn.
Considering the way that like this has sort of all transpired and everything, given the fact that we've travelled in this group for a while, and judging by the three of us that are just stood here, would it be safe to assume that I would assume that it was Kovu's responsibility that this is happening?
Well, you've seen Evelyn running. Evelyn's with you, and Etin's with you.
I'm just gonna assume it, and sort of.
I think
Okay.
it's reasonable, given your messages,
Well,
and the fact that you haven't seen him for a while.
But
Kovu
nobody's
is up
using
to
their
combat.
voices.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to shout out over to
Yeah, this door is open.
Kovu, and I'm gonna say, Etin. I mean,
Hearing Etin
Kovu.
shout his own name, I'm just going to assume that like that's his trigger, and I'm going to put it back.
Yeah.
He looks straight
A
into
big clank, and you see
shouts, "Get it!"
the holes in the ceiling that have appeared
I don't know why I shouted my name.
some kind of slab moves over and blocks them to stop water coming in, and you see the water slowly draining out again through the drain in the corner of the room.
I'm going to head to the central section and see the group and just be like, apologies, I was testing a theory. If any of you have gotten partially wet, I can provide various magics to dry you. Everyone's okay, I assume?
I send a non-lethal just spark of electricity in his direction, with just a kind of little look of like, you little bitch.
Hmm.
You know I don't respond well to threats. If you wish to lay a challenge, do so.
Now, boys.
I let out a tiny smirk, and then just a little bit of electricity starts bubbling up.
Same deal with Frost. If you want to throw down, let's go.
I stand between them when I say, we're here to do this mission. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yes, keep the child under check, and perhaps we can. Maybe we should pool our resources and discuss what we've discovered so far. From what you told me earlier, Evelyn, there's some sort of order to these statues and placing these orbs within them.
Yes, there is.
Am I right
We
in
do-
thinking
that
that
is
we've all come to the conclusion that draining this water to a degree that the other entrances become available is the right way to go?
Yes, that would seem so.
I
Given that,
relay
I'm not
about
entirely
the-
certain why an attempt to make that happen would be met with confrontation, but otherwise, I was attempting to find out what this order may be. Both I and Etin have carried out some investigation and placed the orb in the first statue and placed the second orb in the second statue and then the third statue to try and discover this order. It seems that there are 3 statues but only 2 orbs. Do any of you have a third orb? Have you come across that in any fashion?
I relay
No.
about the fact that the doors and everything about being open in a specific thing. I don't know if it's referring to the statues or the doors specifically. But I pull out the set of keys and everything.
Oh, I
Like,
see.
do you
You
know
have
where I can plop
a
these
number of keys.
to open any
Uh,
specific doors?
The only keyhole that I've come across was the one that you successfully opened for me previously that required a small amount of teleportation magic to traverse inwards.
Well, there's 5 keys, 2 big doors either side.
There's big doors, are there? I've not heard of any big doors.
That's what I would have relayed just now about
Ah.
the like, opening in the order and stuff
Excellent.
like that.
Well
Message that I read.
done.
So
When
just
you
to clarify, he saw the message across the top. Obviously, he can only see half the door when he does his little floaty ice ring because he goes around. And on the top half of the door, he can see this message.
I
But he
remember.
can't see
I
the
actually
bottom
saw
half
that.
of the door.
What was the message again, please?
Open them in the right order.
Ah,
or
I
not.
see the message you relayed. My apologies.
Yes.
Perhaps we could simply swim under the water and see what the rest of the message is. If
You
there
could
is one.
The water is rather murky, but it might be possible.
Is it
I
volatile
suggest
in
we
any
try-
fashion? My understanding that it was relatively still.
It is relatively still. It's quite stagnant.
It's probably
I
not
am-
drinkable, but swimming
yeah.
should be fine.
I imagine we should check the western door because
Very
Yeah, I
well.
it
only
read
saw the
the
message
eastern
on the
one.
east one.
Yes.
The west might have something different.
And are
Yes,
we to
just
believe that the
read-
message is continued under the water? Is it just simply a case of that was the message and that's all there is?
Did
We
it look
don't
like
know.
the message? I'm speaking specifically to Semi. Did it look like the message was beneath, or was that just the single message on the archway?
So you could see the single message at like similar to where the water is level on the door. It's not at the top of the door because you've got the big archway and then you've got the straight bits and you're about halfway down. So it's about where the water is hitting. You can see that message. You didn't have a look down. You don't know if there's anything else on the doors under the water. Also, you only looked at this door. This is the only door that you
Yeah,
noticed.
that's
the
fine.
message on.
We're working
Yeah,
towards
that's-
that conclusion nonetheless.
Yes.
It sounds like from your description then, Taryn, that perhaps the message doesn't continue, but that the other door may hold a separate message. Perhaps you
True.
could continue your little yacht experiment and head out that way.
I do the ice thing again.
Make
Okey
7 deck
dokes.
saves.
Oop.
Go.
I'm not the DM, you do whatever you want.
I deliberately plop myself on from the step, unlike last time. Like, to make sure I'm balanced a bit better, if that's okay. And then I sail over.
Sail away, sail away.
Cool. So you get to the door. You can see a message. What language can you read?
It was Elven, common obviously.
Oh, sorry.
Draconic and Infernal.
Before you list them off, could you all just put in the Roll20 chat what languages you know? Because otherwise
Yeah.
I'm just going to have to keep asking you, and I'm not going to forget, and that will be really annoying for all of you. So sorry, you could say you could read Dwarven.
I'm putting it right now.
Ah, perfect. Thank you. Common, Elven, Draconic, Infernal.
Lucy went to the toilet, so I'm gonna have to find out for you from.
Okay.
Oh God, computer's not doing. Okay. Oh no.
Is that your PC or Lucy's laptop?
What do you mean?
One of them sounds like they're taking off.
Oh, it'll probably be the laptop because the phone on top of it. So, oh God, the phone's on percent. Shit. Thanks for mentioning that because I would not have noticed otherwise. Ugh.
Sounds like my work computer.
You can read a message. Bear with me.
You can
have
read a
you all-
message.
Yeah, you can.
But do you?
And a small amount of French has completely thrown me. I need to know what Avelyn can read, and I need to know what you can read, Etin.
Avalyn's gone to the
speak.
toilet, although she is
Yeah,
typing, so I
I
imagine
think
it's Ulrich.
it's Ulrich doing
Putting
it.
it in, yeah. Let me double check. I Yeah, okay. There we go. That should have gone through. Yeah, there you go.
I turn to Etin as Taran heads out on his little adventure, and I just say to him, "It seems that the young one's growing quite petulant. He seems to step to me for some reason. I'm not really sure why. What's your making of it?"
He's young. He's just got a bit excited about the knowledge that he found, and now he just thinks he's leader of the tribe. You know.
I see. So we shouldn't kill him.
Can I hear this conversation at all?
You've gone around the corner, and I'm at the top of the stairs with Ed.
Well, the people have been in other positions that have been shouting at each other. I don't know the distance of speech at all.
Do you
I'm
have
getting
some sort
very
of feet that
confused
hears
lately.
round walls?
Obviously not. I'm just very
Etin,
confused.
can you put your languages in for me?
I don't know. I don't know if you can hear it. Is the answer.
No, you can't hear clearly. You can hear them talking. You can't hear what they're saying.
I return.
Thank you.
Yeah,
think
what is this
that-
message?
Yeah, let me just double check. I got no other ones. Hang on. Yeah, that's it.
And what language was the other message in?
Okay. You do not recognize the language,
Oh.
but you can tell that there is writing there.
Can you
You
recognise
don't
the
know what it-
script?
But what about the other message that I read? Like, what language was it?
It was common.
Oh, it was just common. Okay.
The player handbook has
Well-
scripts for all of the languages. Some languages share scripts.
Yeah,
To
no,
put
I
it
know, I know, I
simply,
know.
is
I
the
know.
lettering curved?
Wait a minute, I know, I
and-
get it. 1 minute, I'm looking.
Okay,
I'm looking it up. That's all.
that's
I'm
fine.
not
I'm
able
just
to listen
saying.
to you and read it. I know. Okay, cool. What do you... you... Sorry. Trying to work this all out. My brain's not in place.
So it's the only
Um,
bit of that song I know.
You recognise it as Goblin, but you cannot understand what it says.
I sail over towards it, and I touch the surface of which it's on and cast Comprehend Languages.
Yeah, boy, sorcerer.
All
Very
done.
well. Do you want to add that to your list? Do you want to just add that in that you now know Goblin?
He doesn't now
think-
know Goblin.
It's-
He.
No, it's just that for the duration
How
That's
long's the duration?
this thing.
I think-
It's 1 hour duration.
Ooh, nice.
1 hour. Okay, so just put Goblin dash 1 hour.
Okay. That will
Sorry, I'm not trying to be annoying. It's just that I don't have to keep asking you.
Well,
guys.
he
I can-
comprehends all languages for the duration of the spell, so you don't need to.
Oh, do you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
guess.
cool. That's fine. So what it says is, let me get it up. It says never trust a goblin.
Good advice.
I use message, the cantrip, just to relay all this information over to the others and everything.
Mhm.
What, like slowly casting it several times so that we all get it, or just to one of us?
Can I just? Oh yeah, I guess I could send it to one person. Yeah. I'll send it over to Avalon because I know she'd probably be stood like right near the edge, still waiting for.
Yeah,
Like
that's
me-
what I was trying to determine, because I don't want to come over and be like, "Hey, I got your message," if I didn't get your message.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I go over and I tell them that we should
Okay.
never trust a goblin. So
Mm.
ignore that door? Question mark. I don't know.
And was there any writing on the top of the door at all? Sorry.
So on the left door, you saw the
Yeah.
writing "Never trust a goblin"
Yeah.
in Goblin, and then on the right hand door, you saw in Common, "Open in order or not at all."
Okay.
You didn't go underwater. You stayed on your little ice plaque, right?
Yeah. I will come back over to see the guys and everything. Like, yeah. So that's what I saw.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
tired.
No, yeah, we were totally ready for you to return. Certainly not any sort of meeting happening at the top of these stairs. Continue. Sorry, you mentioned that you didn't look under the water at all.
As he says that, I want to look at his face and see what's going on behind those words. Is there some sort of conspiracy? Insight, essentially. If that's cool.
Who are you inciting?
Me.
Josh. Or, I mean, Kovu.
You can't incite Josh, sorry.
No. It's definitely.
I will
Josh.
come over to your house. I'm inciting Josh.
It's
I'm not
definitely
too sure how
Josh.
that works. Sorry, defer to you, Josh.
You make him roll
Like-
an insight check, and if you think it's high enough, you ask me whether or not I was telling the truth or lying, and I have to answer to you honestly, and then you provide your information to Taran based on
Okay.
his roll.
That makes sense. Karen, would you like to roll insight?
Yeah.
I can't even spell it right.
19.
Relatively high.
Yes, you have to tell me what you said is if it's true or not.
I'm gonna write some kind of cryptic message.
No, don't write cryptic to me. What was it you initially said? If you are going to say your exact words again, so in case you are being cryptic.
But my message covers it.
Okay, you very much appreciate that Kovu is just winding you up in a jovial manner. He's not laughing at you. He's just trying to make light.
Cool. Yeah, I just sort of hip hop off because I'm a bit like, just like, making fun of me. And yeah,
I feel like
I'm
you
just like, we
misunderstood
should
the not at your
go on to
expense
the
part,
water
but
then.
okay. Sorry, did you say you looked under the water?
No, I didn't. We should do that. And I'm just sort of
Best of
hip-hopping
luck. I turn back to the group.
Okay. Are we gonna try the idea of putting a orb on one of those other statues and then taking this one off? I understand that this statue made the water go down or whatever, but what if
Do you know, Etin, at the time,
having-
I thought that my idea was superior, but given that I've tried it and it doesn't seem to have resolved the situation, I'd say we're left with yours, and it's a perfectly good one. Would you like to take one of these orbs and place it, and you can let me know when you have, and I'll remove the original one?
Okay, cool. Yeah, let me take that from him. Well, I'm gonna make my way. I mean, I can't decide which way should we go, west or east or west.
Flip a coin, and I flip a gold.
Can you, sorry, just to confirm, what is your plan?
So the plan is for me to put an orb on one of the other statues, and then have Kovu remove the orb from the one that he's currently got it on to see whether or not if maybe the order is just different.
Right.
Because right now we've got one down, okay, but who knows? Maybe having it on a different one might
means that when you pick it up, it doesn't. I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Your choice, Etin. Would you like the visage of Andablath himself, or simply a depiction of the city? I got this golden Stalvin.
Oh, okay. I'll take the city because I'm quite fond of.
It appears to be an image of the king, I'm afraid. Which means I choose. I will take the western one.
Okay. Fine. All right. Cool. So I'm gonna take that from him and make my way over to the west side. The west side.
You don't need the. I'd like the gold back, if that's okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Simply to decide which way you should.
Bye.
Very well. I'm gonna remove one gold from my gold patch.
No, God, that's mine, bitch.
I'm gonna.
Taryn, did you get my message?
Oh,
I whispered you.
ah,
So, Avlin, what are you doing?
I did not notice. I was looking at other stuff, sorry.
All right.
I'm gonna wait.
Adeline, you're free to travel with me should you wish. I need somebody to relay the message that Etin has removed the orb in the original location anyway.
Yes, I'll travel with Kovu.
Just as we're walking, it perhaps provides me
Well,
with
what-
a moment to discuss. I think that we're
Where's-
doing rather well as a group. I appreciate we're somewhat dysfunctional, but do you think that things are going well?
I do believe I think we're doing well as a team. I mean, we made it here. if we had never got past the library, I would say we sucked.
Certainly, lesser groups may well have failed far before here, and we're alive. Those books only slightly maimed you, and I think we're doing okay.
I do believe that we're going to make it through this, and that we will finish our mission and continue onward.
Do you know,
Any-
I actually know quite a bit of magic, and I've been thinking of holding back some of my fortitude to cast a particular spell should everything go. I believe the human term or local colloquialism is pear-shaped or sideways, something like that. I've actually been thinking it might be better to cast it on Etin and see what happens.
What spell is this?
Oh, I hold within my my books here, and I sort of look about my garments and kind of pull out my spell book after searching for a little bit. I have to kind of unclick it because it's sort of holstered in this like leather strap style thing. There's like there's one that renders somebody entirely impossible to see via the eye of anyone else. It's quite a good laugh. You can have a lot of fun with it. I used to do it to get out of all sorts of things at the monastery. It's hilarious.
I mean, putting aside the comical value, that could be life-saving.
Exactly.
That could spare one of our lives.
Exactly. So when you take into account the life-saving thing and then add the comical value, it has so many applications.
And I believe you will make your best use of it. I do believe in you.
Well, thank you. And I and you. Please let me know when our brutish friend has removed the stone or placed it. I forget which one was happening. And I head off south, clearly sipping from my flask slightly.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Sure thing. I will do so.
Right. Okay.
Sure.
I'm now gonna.
Middle to kind of inform.
I'm just gonna remove. I'm gonna place the orb on the hands of the western side.
So you're
statue.
moving. Oh, man. You're moving this orb
Oh,
to
no,
this statue.
So
No, there's
he's
al-
going to place an orb he has on the leftmost statue, and I'm
What
going
orb
to.
does he have?
He has one of the two transparent orbs.
Which one? They're both currently on statues.
No, we took one
No.
back.
We took one back.
What do you mean you took one
So
back?
the central one is placed,
Yeah.
and we have one.
Okay, so you didn't leave it on the statue. Even
No,
when-
I gave
no.
it to Etin, and
Right, okay,
Etin is
that's fine.
placing it on this statue, and I am
placing it
removing
on
the
this
one
statue.
from the central
Okay.
statue.
Okay.
Okay.
As you remove it, you hear the same clinking and the rush of water coming back.
Firstly I wait for Avalyn to confirm that he's placed it. I assume that happens.
Yes, I can.
Cool. So I remove it, and as I start to hear the waters once more, I look back over my shoulder and kind of shout to Avalyn, I think we're in the realms of killing Taran again. I'm not certain.
Okay. Do I hear this?
Is the boy clear of the water?
Hello?
Avalyn?
Oh,
Maybe you killed Davlin.
I'm going to put it back now. I'm not hearing anything.
are we back? Yeah.
Yep. Well, you got.
Sorry, Discord went weird because of
That's
the
alright,
phone.
alright.
Right. Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna pick up. So did that work? Did that work?
It did, yes.
So I
You
shouldn't
did?
put this back?
So I should leave it here?
The water's filling.
Yes.
Taran's feet are getting wet.
It sounds like water is flowing in some
I like-
fashion. Is that?
I like how Evelyn said yes to both of
Yeah.
our questions. So it's like, well, which one do we do?
I'm still holding it. Is that your intent?
Yes.
I'm still leaving it here. Is that what you want me to do?
Yes.
Very well. Well, I
Very
suppose
well.
I'll come back.
All right, I'm gonna take it back.
I'm gonna come back to the center. I'm now holding the orb for the middle statue.
I'm coming back to the center with the orb as well for the statue I put down. Like, hang on, what are you doing here with that?
Well,
Everything goes
I'm
back to
supposed to
normal and
hold on to
drains
it,
again.
am I not?
Did you
What?
did you put the central orb back on? Yeah.
No, I'm holding it now,
No,
and I'm
hold it.
standing in the
So the
central.
water's filling.
Okay. I've got to be honest, Evelyn, it really sounds like the water is filling back up in the cavern. I mean, I'm going to peer around the corner where Etin just came from. Are his feet wet?
The water is filling in those.
I mean, the
chambers,
man's
yeah,
feet are
4
wet,
chambers.
Evelyn. What are you doing here? Like, what is the intention? I've got to be honest, Evelyn, the silence is somewhat unhelpful.
Sorry, I'm confused because we dropped out and now I've come back in and I don't understand what's
Well,
happening.
I don't know what any of that means. Let me put it simply for you.
He asked
You
you
are
if the
to
water-
work as a liaison. Etin
I
intends
failed
on...
in that job.
Oh, certainly, I agree,
have a
but
plan to
for the sake of moving forwards, I'm currently holding the orb that feeds the central statue. Our understanding of this orb is that it prevents the other locations within the cavern that we've been able to traverse since filling with water. My understanding is that Etin was to place one of the orbs in the westernmost statue. Taran may well be dead by now. We have no proof. I'm going to put this back. If you could work as...
Yes.
Excellent. I turn around and go and put it back in the central thing.
And you hear
As-
a big.
Sorry,
clank,
I'm not very
and the water
intelligently.
starts
You're
draining
smooth.
again.
As I walk away back towards the south, I'm just
Taran,
like,
you definitely saw water seeping back in through the broken door, and your feet were starting to get wet, and now it seems to be just.
if somebody could confirm the boy isn't dead, that would be useful. And I go and put the orb back in the statue.
I go over to these stairs and yell out for Taran.
I send with the cantrip message again, just like, I'm fine. Kovu back up to his bullshit again.
And I just go straight back over. And I sneeze and then I say, he's fine. There's so much dust in
You
here."
don't have to go swimming in it, catching all sorts of bacteria. It's simply to speak to the boy. I imagine he can hear around corners. We established that earlier.
Yes, he's fine. Everything's fine.
Oh, throwback!
Excellent. Well, I've returned the orb to the central statue. It seems that regardless of the nature of the second two statues, that the central statue simply controls the water of these first two. The only thing we haven't
Well,
done.
we haven't tried the east
Oh,
side.
hello. Yes. Well, we could. I mean, we
Well,
did
so-
originally.
Also, we didn't do the west side properly. Actually, no, we did do it. We haven't tried the east side. We haven't tried the east side.
I
I
mean,
think you should take the central one and put it in the eastern one.
yes, we really have tried the eastern one. The one thing that I would suggest
No,
is
what we
exactly
didn't
what
do-
Avelyn is suggesting. Perhaps what we should do, despite the water, is place
Yeah.
either orb in the leftmost and rightmost statue. Forget the central one. If people get wet, fine. Taran be damned. Let's go.
Do that.
That is what I said to do. I said to do that ages
Okay.
ago.
Okay, where are you all?
That is the plan.
What are you doing? Move
Stay-
your characters. How are
Very
you
very
moving?
well. Etin, have you returned the orb to the western statue?
The chambers are now drained as they were after the first time you put the orb on. Those rooms are empty again and dry.
Right. Okay. Right. Now I'm gonna put this ball on here and then leave.
Right, I'm gonna grab the one from the central
you hear
statue.
A big clank, and then nothing happens.
I'm gonna
and
grab
then
the
you
one
pick
from the
up that
central
one,
statue, and then I'm gonna go put it
and
in
you
the
hear a
eastern
big
one.
Clank, and you hear this familiar sound of water pouring back in.
I'm gonna try and place it in the eastern one before the water fills. I'm running.
You hear another clank, but the water is saying you can still hear it pouring.
Well, nobody's here with me.
Okay.
Very well. I've just sort of got it in the statue's hands as water begins to rise up around my legs, and I'm just like,
Avelyn, what are you doing?
I'm staying in the central room
You
because
can't see anything in the
I have
central
a
room.
very yes, I know. I have a very low intelligence, so I'm kind of with this.
Do you
puzzle
though?
thing,
I
I
don't know
struggle.
what you do.
I do. I have a 0 intelligence.
That
I
means
have
you're
no-
averagely intelligent. That means you're just normal.
Oh, does it?
yeah,
But I
10,
have
10 is
no
normal.
Minus
to it, so
getting
I thought I
stupid.
was
10
like,
is normal. No.
Minuses mean you're dumb.
Oh, I thought I was
Yeah,
like.
you are just the average intelligence of all normal people.
You're just
Well,
good.
they still have better intelligence modifiers
Eloquently said.
than me.
Okay,
I'm
roll an
not-
intelligence check for me.
Can I roll an intelligence
No,
check?
you can't. Shush.
Okay, well, in the meantime, I'm gonna take this stone back to the central chamber.
What? No, can you stop?
Okay, fine, carry on.
You're
But-
moving before you're finding out what's happening, so you're not going to
Okay,
learn.
I thought that I'd found out everything that was happening.
Well, all you know is that water's still pouring in, but you don't know what's going on out there.
Well, we've both placed the orbs in the left and right now.
Okay, but where are you? Etin's standing. They're both in the middle, so they can't see what's happening, and you're in a chamber where you can't see anything that's happening either.
Does it sound like it's draining or is it filling?
You can hear water pouring in. Avelyn, as you
Pouring
go
in,
to the
so it's filling.
bottom here, you look
Yeah.
down, and if you go down the steps, you notice that from the top right corner where the water is pouring in, it is pouring in, but the water's not rising.
Right.
So it's about 1 feet deep, but it's not going up and it's not going down.
Have we achieved something?
I can't see anything.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Have they put the orbs in the west and east?
Yeah, east and west has got an orb in
Okay,
it.
so that seems to have worked. Right?
Okay. Has anything
Okay.
happened in any of the other rooms?
Here's my problem. I have no clue
Kobe,
what's happening
can you roll
anywhere
an
else.
intelligence for me?
I don't
Oh,
know
you
what's
will- why don't
happening.
you go look,
Yeah,
or ask someone.
they're so fucking far away, and as far as I'm aware, I'm drowning Taryn again. So like,
Look,
17.
If you look at where Kovu is, yeah, he's got a few corners to get around before he can actually get a message
All
across.
I know is that the
Okay,
water's
but you
filling back
know
up.
that you had about 10 minutes before, and the water went up by about half a foot, maybe nearly.
Okay, well
Mm.
that's useful information. So,
So,
fair
yeah.
enough. I've got
So you
time.
can go round and find the other guys. You're
Okay,
not going
well,
to round
given
and
that
find
information, I will go find the other guys.
Right,
Okay.
I'm here. So what happened? What happened?
I
Right.
really don't know. It's filling again, albeit slowly.
No, so go and have a look where Avelyn is, as per your intelligence check.
Okay,
We
cool.
want to see what's going on. You
Evelyn,
can
what
hear water
happened?
pouring in.
Tell us what happened.
It sounds like something's happening in the north. Evelyn, what do you see? What do your human eyes see?
Right. What I see is that the water's coming in, but it's not rising in this corner over here. It's not going down either, so I believe we've achieved something with what we did.
Right, well
Okay.
that's fucking weird. I'm going to get the lantern from my hip and hold that up, just see if anything happens.
As they're talking, I'm just gonna I'm gonna kick this door out of the way, and I'm just gonna come through holding a big chest.
Fucking hell,
open or
what the
closed?
hell is that?
It's closed.
Oh goodness, that stinks, Taryn. Put it down.
This is a weird magical chest. It's got nothing in it. I feel some weird shit from it, and
Oh,
It's-
yes, no, certainly, Taryn, place it down. There was a chest earlier that had nothing in it until I shined this light on it. Give me a moment.
Oh,
It's good that you're just now telling me about it.
because I forgot.
Well, that's inconvenient. Literally, this has been brought to my attention now. The person with the lantern that can see invisible things.
Well, I didn't know that you could see invisible things with your lantern.
I believe we described the lantern earlier in
you
life.
wasn't there. You were in the room on your own that entire time.
Yeah,
and
but when
Etin
I
was on the other side of
first got the
door.
lantern,
I don't
No,
remember.
nothing.
in session
You-
1...
No, you fixed it, and you and Etin were on the room on your own. They'd gone the other path. He's not been
Fair
with you
enough.
with the lantern or anything. He knows nothing about this lantern.
I am incredibly sorry, Taryn, if
as
I've
you
not
were holding
explained to you the
open the
nature of this lantern. Let me give you a demonstration. And I hold it above the chest.
And in the chest lays a translucent orb.
Yay!
I'm going to be very honest with you now, Taryn. I think we need this, and I'm going to take it.
Okay.
You're
Um,
welcome.
And as you walk out, you look in both corners of the room, and you can see water's pouring in from the top, but it's definitely
Yeah,
not
no,
filling
the whole
room.
time I'm just walking
So
away.
you
I'm like,
think
yes,
it must
very
be
good.
draining.
Very, very astute, thank you. And I go and return this orb to the one remaining statue that we haven't put anything in, the central one, given that we took the orb from the central one. As I go to the top of the stairs,
I
I
go back.
stop, actually. About here, I stop, and I turn back to them, and I just say, was there anything else in those rooms of import in some fashion? Is there anything to be made aware of?
Not really.
No, they are disgusting. I believe we should move on.
Right,
That's-
but you didn't have the land... Avelyn, would you mind returning this to the central statue in the southernmost section of this cavern? And I give her the orb. I'm then going to take the lantern into the rooms, casting, if it stinks, casting prestidigitation the entire time to try and offset the smell. Strawberries would be my preference.
So have you put it on the first orb again?
No, Avelyn has the orb. and is
I am
heading.
at-
She's
Yeah.
heading towards the southern statue. I am
Okay.
using the lantern to search the
I-
rooms
Place
And-
it.
Okay.
and casting prestidigitation to offset the smell.
Ah, very nice. Okay, you search the rooms. Ablin, if you put it on the,
Yes.
as you put it down, you hear a very loud clank.
Kuklar.
Etin
Ah.
and
Oh.
Taryn, you notice that in the top corner of your room, a concrete panel seems to move again and block the water draining in. And the rooms start flooding and a whoosh.
What the hell?
happens.
Oh. Ooh.
Ah.
Okay.
Ugh. Okay, well, I will drag you all back on. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Put yourselves where you were. I trust you're not gonna be.
This is a very cool map. Or set of maps.
Just told me a really long time ago that in D&D you tend to find the map and then base your story around it.
You really do.
I actually had an idea for this one
Where's
shot
the-
that was
where-
loosely around this kind of thing, and then I found the map, and I was like, this is kind of exactly what I was going for. So this is perfect.
I'd just like to
Are you all on? Have I dragged you all in? I haven't missed anyone, have I?
You just like to
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
just
Kobe,
like
where
to
are
say
you?
that
Did I drag you in?
Yeah, he's in the
Oh,
top.
yeah,
left.
he's
water
right, yeah,
temples
sorry.
are not my thing.
Very Zelda. Do you say that I don't find anything
Water
else with the
temples.
lantern in the northern rooms, Sevi?
Yep, you don't find anything else in there.
Okay, well then I put the lantern back on my hip and I exit to find that the other two sides have drained.
Yep.
Very good.
I
Right.
Split up.
Well done, everybody. Might I suggest now that we search the remaining two rooms? I would suspect, in case any of you have forgotten, that the doors may have keyholes, and that those keyholes may be paired with the 5 keys that Taryn has.
Could
Yes.
you who is that? That is Taryn and Evelyn. Could you roll perception for me?
I wouldn't have heard anything that he was saying because I was already running down there. But I would have probably assumed that keyholes would go to big doors. So, was it
I don't know who
perception?
made that assumption, but
Did you say
Are those keys quite small?
no, they're fairly sizable.
Did you say perception?
Yes, please.
6.
11.
Very well. Taryn, you notice that behind you there is a statue that is similar to the ones you've seen before, and it has a glowing orb on it.
Oh.
I'm.
And then you notice your very, very big door, which in common at the top has. You don't need to roll investigation because you can see this. It has a very big common message across the top, which you've already read, which says
The thing in order.
I'm excited.
open in
by
order or
this
not at all.
orb. Yeah, I'm excited by this orb, so I use the message cantrip to send to Kobe. I'm just like, glowy orb.
Oh, very well, and I'll come over.
Okay. As you come over and have a look at the orb, you deduce it's the same as the others, but it seems to have already been activated in some fashion, or in place, we should say.
It seems from what I can tell, Taryn, that this orb has already found its location without our placing. I would suggest that removing it would be folly and that we should perhaps look at the doors instead with those 5 keys that you have.
Cool. And I
So you
just.
walk over to this door puzzle, and you see on it. Go with me. You see the message in top and common, and then you see 3 locks with messages in different languages under each of them.
Do we
I'm assuming
understand any
it's
of them?
been less than an hour.
Say that again.
Has it been less than an hour since I cast the
No,
spell?
it's been about 20 minutes, I'd say.
Okay, cool. So I
You
want
can
to
read all
read
of
the
them.
messages.
Yep, no worries. So you notice this on this side. Oh, I'm going to write notes, otherwise it's going to get confusing. Bear with me one sec.
You know, Taran, outside of your delusions of grandeur, you've actually been quite useful in this endeavor.
Delusions?
There we are again.
I'm looking at Kovu genuinely confused.
So
You've been quite
read-
useful during this endeavor. Is what
Max
he
thinks
said.
you didn't hear me. But you really did.
I don't think he did.
He did.
I heard everything. I'm genuinely confused about the like delusions of grandeur part. Just sort of looking at him like,
Oh,
what
okay.
the fuck?
That's fine.
So you read this lock,
Yes.
and it has what appears to be Orcish written underneath it.
Mhm.
So above it, it has the number 6, and below it, it has written in Orcish, "Orcs can't count."
Hmm.
Are you all looking at the door?
Yes.
I am. Yep.
Evelyn, there's a middle lock, and on that, it just has the number 3 written above it in Elven. In common, sorry, not Elven. You with me?
Mhm.
And Kovu, I was gonna call you Josh then for a minute. You can see in Elven, on this side, the final lock, and underneath it in Elven it says 1 or 2 or 4.
Ooh.
I'm going to draw the numbers.
Yeah, do what you like. Put in chat, draw on the map, whatever.
So it was
Apologies,
6.
I appreciate you're all concentrating on the locks in front of you. It comes to my attention that we have 6 locks and 5 keys. Is that not the case?
No, you have 3 locks.
We don't know about the other door. Nobody looked over there.
You've looked at, so there's one lock here in Orcish that says Orcs can't count with the number 6 above it. There's a middle lock which just has the number 3 above it in common. And then there's the lock on this side, which in Elven says 1 or 2 or 4.
I'm just going to step away and come over here and look at the locks over here.
Okay. And over here, you know you can't understand what it says at the top, but Taran has already told you that it says never trust a goblin at the top in Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
You then notice that on this side, there are 2 locks on the door, one either side. On this side, in Dwarvish, it says 2 or 4.
Bless me.
Yes.
I want to run over as well, just
And
in
on
case.
this side, you don't know the language, but you can tell by the writing above that you think it might be Orcish, and that it's the same. What's the word? Not alphabet.
You draw that with a mouse.
What's the word you were gonna say, Josh?
I wrote
Like
2 out of
text?
4 with a mouse. Yeah, script.
Script, yep. So you know Dwarven, so you can figure out that this side in Goblin it says 1 or 4 or 5. And is that you, Taran?
Yeah.
You come over and you can read the same thing. So on this side, it's in the pink. In Goblin, it says 1 or 4 or 5. Above the door, it says never trust a goblin in Goblin. And to this side, in Dwarvish, it says 2 or 4.
I start mumbling, as per usual.
Taran.
uh,
Taran. Can you hear me, boy?
uh-huh.
It seems to me, if the orcs counting is to be believed, which I don't perhaps think it is, given that again we have 3 keyholes and 5 keys, that
5
this
keyholes,
lock
5 keys, you
here-
mean?
what did I say?
You said, yeah, it said 3 keyholes, 5 keys. We have
Yes,
5.
I meant
keyholes.
5. 5 keyholes, 5 keys, and only 1 keyhole that claims to be number 5.
6 means nothing. 5, this is the only one with 5 on it. We have 2 with
There's
4.
also only 1 keyhole that claims to be the 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
However, goblins can't be trusted, which suggests that perhaps this is not the 5th keyhole at all. If orcs can't count, maybe the 6th keyhole
6 is
is in
5.
fact the 5th.
Yes.
2
How-
keyholes claim
how-
to be the first, but one of those lies with the goblins that can't be trusted.
Hold that thought. What were you saying, Etin?
No, I was just trying to understand. How did you come to that decision that number 6 Could be number 5.
I know you're in separate rooms, but you can, for the sake of
You
RP
come to
not
the
being
center.
awkward, just imagine that you're going back and talking to each other so that the four of you can just have this conversation rather than it be like, oh no, you two can't speak and I'll go over there and talk. Especially given that Taran has comprehend languages and most
He's
of you
doing all the
know majority
interpreting
of
for
them.
us, yeah.
Yeah, you've figured out what you've got. So you can all just collectively talk as a group and just imagine that you're walking back and forth and looking at the locks.
So,
Okay.
let me put this to you all. There is only one keyhole that claims to be the third, and it is to be trusted if we are to believe these messages. Orcs cannot count, and goblins cannot be trusted. However, the language that states to be the third keyhole says nothing of the like. Therefore, I would come to the conclusion that the third keyhole is in fact the third keyhole. We then have 3 keyholes claiming to be the fourth. I would perhaps instead focus on which claims to be the first. It seems that we have one in Elven, was it? And one in Goblin. Whilst goblins can't be trusted, the other can. But it is one of 3. Though we only have 2 that claim to be the second, and 2 that claim to be the 3 that claim to be the fourth. It's quite the predicament. Only 2 that claim to be the fifth, but orcs can't count and goblins can't be trusted. I believe that the 6th keyhole is the 5th keyhole. And I would
Yes.
suggest that we continue in
I
that
agree with
venture.
that. I agree
Okay.
with that.
Yeah.
The question then
all right.
becomes, which is the first, which is the
So,
second, and which is the fourth?
Okay. So is the pink one? Sorry, it says goblin next to that. Does that mean that that is meant to be the goblin handwriting?
It's written in
Sorry.
Goblin.
That's written in goblin.
If we assume that the orc text, claiming to be the 6th, is in fact the 5th, that leaves us only the 1st or 4th in Goblin, which means the
Yes.
Elven is either the 1st, 2nd, or 4th, and the Dwarven is either the 2nd or 4th. Given that, we know that the Elven, one of them can be the 4th, one of them can be the 1st. Only 2 of them can be the 2nd, and the
Well-
Orcish is definitely the 6th.
Well, why don't we say that elven is first,
And
then
the goblin is fourth.
goblin is fourth. Goblin is fourth.
Very well.
Dwarven is second.
Dwarven is second.
Yeah, common is third, and the orc is fifth.
Yeah.
Shall we go with that?
Give
Yeah.
it a go.
Okay. Do you want to do it to me one by one?
So, Elf, Dwarf,
Common.
Common will always be 3. Goblin, Orc.
Move myself out of the way.
Okie dokes. You put the first key in. So this is your elven lock
Yeah.
over here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you're gonna put that in first.
Yeah. Does it turn in any fashion?
It turns, and you hear a distinct movement in the door,
Okay.
Okay. That's
like
good.
something metal is shifting inside.
We then go to the dwarven door and attempt to turn the second key within the lock.
Nothing happens.
Oh,
Then at that point, oh shit, that removes everything except. Wait,
I'm
what's
confused.
2
Oh,
if
you
Elf
mean-
is
you mean-
first? Nothing else
Yeah.
claimed to be the second.
maybe it's not 4 at all because goblins can't count. Maybe
Orcs
that is.
can't count.
Oh, never trust a goblin. Maybe that one is the second one, and dwarven is 4.
Okay, try it in the goblin keyhole. I suspect it may be the orcish one, but carry on. We try the second key in the goblin keyhole.
I want to quickly nab the keys, run around to the first block, and do it again because I'm like, might have to reset the order just in case.
Fair
And
shout,
then run.
continue as you will.
Very nice. So you put it in the elven key,
And turn it
the
once
elven
more.
lock, sorry, and turn it once more. You hear the distinct clink, and
Mhm.
then you go around to
The
sorry, just
goblin.
confirm. The goblin door.
Yeah.
Put a key in. It turns, and you hear a shift of movement in that door.
Okay.
Hey.
We then go to the
Ah.
common door.
You put the key in.
We then go to the dwarven door.
Turns and unlocks. You then go to
And
the dwarven door,
Then the orcish one.
and
right.
in that order, they turn and unlock.
Yay!
And as
Woo!
you open the fifth one, you hear both the doors almost feel like they have a grinding metal inside them that's turning.
Okay.
And
Prepare yourselves.
the doors slightly open.
I ready my weapon.
Right, bear with me.
I lick
I
my
can't even
axe.
see my token. I shouldn't have licked it.
Nasty.
I
It is covered
What side are
in
you coming
splinters. You
down?
get a splinter in your tongue.
I was in the center waiting to see what comes out of these, but I've also lost my token. I think I've been I've deleted
Okay,
myself.
so nothing. Nice. Nothing comes out of the doors. They just open and reveal stairways down.
Okay, well I'm
don't
gonna
know
go over to
I don't know
this
who's
one.
where. Which one? Could you just tell me left or right? Sorry.
Everyone's
I'm
right
right.
except me, who is on the left.
No, Taran and Kovu
I
are
would
left.
have imagined I would go with
and
Kovu.
Etin and me are
Okay,
right.
terrible matchup, but
But,
continue as we will.
So Taran and Kovu are on
Although
the
Taran
left.
was doing a strange melee thing, I'm gonna let him go first. Having seen
Avlin,
him fight in combat as a relatively melee character.
been using magic.
No, I know, but I was saying in the last combat that you got much closer than I would expect of like a long-range caster sorcerer. So I'm assuming that you have a reason for that, and as such, I'm allowing you to go ahead of me. I am not an upfront caster at all.
Okay. You guys on your new map?
Nice.
Yes.
We have a very
are.
limited range on it. We're already moving into the darkness.
My God.
Good, sorry.
Okay. Can I take out a torch,
Good
please?
shout. I'll do the same.
Very good. Good idea.
Lovely. Hang on. Let me just take that off. I forget. Torch is that? Torch. Oh God. Yep. Lovely.
Noticed that I've left something. Just
Right.
playing. Okay, so you're going down as expected, yeah?
Yep.
I'm just closing a couple of my windows because I have like 18 things to make happen.
The DM life.
Josh knows.
Auric knows a little bit.
That's true.
What do I know? I wasn't paying
I will never
entirely
know.
attention.
About being a DM.
Oh yeah, a little teeny bit.
I've been asked to be a DM, but I'm too frightened.
So
And
is
I'll
Sevi,
never,
but she's
never
killing it.
be. I'll never be one. I will never be a DM,
Yes,
mate.
you fucking will.
I know I fucking won't,
You
mate.
fucking
Like,
will.
dude,
fucking-
you should ask me. If you'd asked me even a year ago, like, there's no way I'd have agreed to have done this. To be honest, I only kind of agreed this because it got put on the spot. I never thought I'd actually follow through with it.
After
Okay,
that sounds
go
like
into the
me
room.
with playing D&D in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. No, but that's exactly my point. Like, you just don't know. So you all walk in.
We do.
Yeah.
Ready up, guys. I mean, ready up, guys.
I stay ahead to make sure that everyone's safe.
What
Oh,
the
good.
hell?
We seem to have reconvened. Excellent. I'll wait up here. Feel free to explore. I'm going to think about perhaps casting some sort of lightning bolt.
Wait, be careful, be careful. What's on this? Can I not investigate what these strange items are on the right or on the left? Doesn't matter. I don't know what these are.
Savandra, what do we see as we look into the room? Sorry, I know I'm messaging you and it's distracting.
Talking to me? Sorry.
No,
Your name's not
me,
Savandra.
sorry.
Who the hell is Savendra?
Me. He's taken the mic out. Okay. You walk in. It's a damp room. There's water pools everywhere around. There's like blotted around puddles. Essentially, is probably the right word. And as you look against all the walls, you can see all these suits of armor lined up. They seem very dusty, very old, very strange. But nothing else seems to really be in this room.
I do two things. Firstly,
Lastly, you see two statues over here behind two suits of armor. And they seem to just have like not artwork, like, you know, when you go in a church and you see sort of carved in paintings and depictions of gods and goddesses. It's that kind of thing.
Mural?
Think of it as a very old gallery. There's like
Okay.
pictures of gods and goddesses.
I'd
on
like to
the-
raise the lantern and see what I can see.
You don't see anything.
I would like to
Uh,
shoot one of the statues with a frostbolt.
I'd
Ooh,
like
which
to
one?
remind the group to stay on their guard and because I've had my weapon readied this whole time, and I'm kind of like staying in front of the group, and I'm like, stay on your guard, and like.
Where are
Yeah.
you shooting, Josh?
Prepare
Yeah.
yourselves. I don't trust a room full of inanimate objects that seem as though they should be animated in some fashion, and I will shoot this one.
Nothing happens.
Okay.
So I blast off a beam of frost energy at this statue, and it sort of takes the impact and is just a little bit cold on the front. And I'm like, very well, continue.
You see through here. Oh wait, no. Yeah. They're essentially two giant slabs of stone, which you assume to be doors, as there's definitely two slabs. There's definitely a crack through the middle, but there's no handle. There's no carvings. Nothing. They're just two giant slabs of stone.
Sorry.
Considering their
what are the
placement-
giant slabs?
These here.
Here, these.
Oh,
So
okay.
you deduce they're doors, but they're not like wooden or carved or have handles or locks or anything. They're just two giant slabs of stone.
Right. Okay.
Considering the weird placement of these statues and everything, and just sort of following off of Kovu's like example of trying to figure out if something's an enemy, I walk up to this statue right here and I use shocking grasp.
You're just like, hey dude, me and you could take them both, take them all. Let's go.
This one.
Yep.
Which one? I
this-
can't
the
see. I
specific
can't see
one
you
that I'm
mark
stood
it.
in front of.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's standing in front of it.
Okay. Do you how? Okay, sorry. I was just thinking of something. How does shocking grasp work? What is it?
Touch spell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just-
So you touch this
Damn it.
suit of armor, and it completely crumples to the ground. And as you do,
You completely crumple to the ground.
I want in that instant just sort of a bit of shame
Thieves.
sort of to grasp over me and look over
Move.
at Kovu just
Oh
like
shit.
Harry
Oh shit, it's Jess!
Oh
Potter.
shit.
and this one crumples to the floor.
Shit, that's probably very bad.
It's moving like a horse, it's definitely Jess!
Mhm.
Okay.
And they are moving very slowly, but both of the white ones, both of the white ones are looking as if they're about to draw swords on their.
I'm gonna
hilt.
shoot this
Hilt.
one.
And this one was lifting up a shield in a protective manner and collapses
shoot
onto
it.
the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
And then before you can do anything, this one comes here and strikes for Avlin.
They're 3
Oh.
wide. The door's 3 wide, so if we kill 2 out of 4, they can't block the door entirely, which was my intention.
Dun, 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 dun. And he makes contact with you.
Evelyn,
With
quick!
one-
Use your
he ma-
various
he
wounds
makes
from the previous
2
fight.
Slashing with his giant sword that was on his hip, both 2 hands. Sorry, I was wrong with one. And he makes contact and hits you with 1, and he does 6 bludgeoning damage as he crashes into your weak arm from earlier.
I like how Max is like, oh shit, that's loads, but realistically it's not loads to them, but it is to me.
Sorry, how much damage did I take?
6 bludgeoning.
Okay.
Sorry, does anyone? Oh my god, I'm drunk. Okay, never mind.
I love that slow realization of that.
I'm drinking vodka too, I just realised. Hey!
Hey, vodka
Hey,
buddies!
vodka! Mother Russia!
Mother Russia.
Are we in any sort of initiative, or are we just going?
Sorry, I did say roll initiative. You
Oh,
guys must not have heard me.
My
Oh,
bad.
sorry, I
No,
didn't
yeah, I
hear.
don't think
Sorry.
any of us heard
None
that.
of us heard it.
Oh, maybe I cut out then. If all of you didn't hear, that would make more sense.
Bam.
Sorry.
13.
9.
Could you all put
And-
your health back on? Because I can't see it.
I did not
Hang
intend to
on.
take it off.
I,
Oh, it's because it's a new map, new tokens. You said it was bar 1, right?
Yes.
Bam.
Shit, what did I have?
The
I
one with the
had.
little heart.
I didn't get healed by
You didn't get hit by anyone.
Evelyn's hands. So I'm just the same health.
13, 9, 6. So it's Kovu, Taran, Avalyn. Do you want to roll initiative, Etin?
Oh yeah, sorry. There you go. Oh,
Okay, so Kovu 13, Taran 9, Avalyn 6, Etin 6.
God, could you type that in the chat for me? I was looking.
Yeah,
reading
sure, one
something.
sec.
Turn order thing is just not worth right now.
Oh, I hate that it does that. Puts the first
Oh, I
entry
see.
like it's above
Yeah,
its
no,
line.
it's fine. So this one comes over and attacks you, Etin.
mm,
2 strikes with his great sword. He hits with his first,
Rubbish.
misses with his second. And you take 3 bludgeoning damage as he crashes into your. Have you got a shield?
I have a shield. Yes, I do.
Smashes into your shield and knocks you back ever so
Yes, I
slightly.
do.
Not enough for it to be effective on the map, but
Okay. Cool.
Fuck's sake. I keep accidentally minimizing everything so that the stream is just going to be like flashing to my background, but I can't remember what I was doing. I was doing something. Probably
Oh
typing
shit!
notes, that'll do.
I just realized. Oh, never mind.
But-
Does not matter. No, it's fine.
cool. So he hits you, and then why have you got 30? Oh, you rewrite. Oh, bloody hell! You're making it more confusing. It was easier the way you did it.
I know, but like, I'm trying to get it to. No, it doesn't do it because it won't do.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry. I'm just gonna look at the top one because I assume all the numbers are the same. Yeah. So then it's your turn, Kobe.
Oh, okay. How hardy do these statues look?
Well, they are full suits of armor,
Hmm.
but this one over here.
Have any of them suffered any damage as yet?
Well, the 2 by the door have crumpled to the ground.
But they don't look as hardy as the 2 that are still standing. Or do they look the same to me?
No, they look different. They're different suits of armor, but in the fact that they were both armor and they both suddenly started moving, they are the same.
Okay, I've got no reason to use stronger magics given that information, so I'll move over here so that Avalyn's not a potential target, and I will try and frost... Ray of Frost. Frost Hiccup, it's a new spell that I'm working on.
I like it.
Ray of Frost. 16, does that hit?
You miss.
Damn, okay.
Oh, damn. This is gonna be a tough
Damn,
one.
son.
Okie dokes. Anything else for your turn?
I'm chill. I'm gonna chill. Actually, do you know what? I'm gonna go around here. I'm not even a target anymore. I suppose I'll turn back. I'm not that interested, but I'll turn back just in case.
And then, Taran, it's your turn.
It be my turn. I'm gonna see this one here and I'm gonna run at it. And
See, this is what I'm
shock
saying.
and grab.
That's a fucking melee sorcerer right there.
I like it.
Oh, I'm cool with it. I just don't know. I don't know how it works.
19,
You hit. Roll damage.
which I believe is 2d5. Let me double check because I've forgotten. When my phone decides to catch up with me.
I gotta turn the music up because this one's a little quieter. Oh, it's Kingdom Hearts.
Hey! Oh, it's not too
For shame, Lucy, for not recognizing before me.
It's really quiet on this. It's 3 fucking damage.
Damn.
Terrible.
3 damage. Okay, and oh, I'm on the wrong fucking layer again. I will get there.
We
what
didn't
are you
even roll
doing
damage
to
to
him?
crumple the previous ones. Shock and grasp.
What are you doing? Oh, shock and grasp. So as you
Yeah.
grab it and cast your spell, it turns to react to you and crumples to the floor.
Damn, okay.
Really glad I didn't use any 3rd level spells on my turn, you guys.
And then, what was that? I was there, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm gonna run over here, sort of
Oh shit.
get a bit ready, but not get within range.
Oh shit,
That'll be my
son.
turn.
Oh shit.
Dude,
I
well.
see you, son.
Okay,
Jeez.
and then
This guy's going wild.
as you do that, you see 2 more suits of armor
Fucking called it.
Bastards.
wake up and move forward.
I'm just saying, if we wait for them all to wake up and go upstairs, I can kill them all in a line.
This one is going to swing for you, Etten.
No, it won't. Because I'm gonna use. Actually, I'm not gonna use anything.
It is going to swing for you and completely miss.
Hey, it
and
worked!
Drop its sword on the floor. And it's going to crookedly lean back up and look at you. And you don't know quite how it's managed it, but it's definitely giving you an oh shit look, considering it's just a suit of
That
armor.
one.
Okay, cool.
I
I'd
used
like
nothing
to.
and it's successful.
You like that, yeah?
Yeah, that's my favourite thing.
That's it.
That innate fighter ability, nothing.
And then it is. Sorry, I keep forgetting to tell you whose turn it is. It's Ablin next.
Sevi, if the fight's gonna last some time, why don't we use the turn order?
Because I've
What?
got it written down, I just had the wrong thing open.
Okay, cool.
Like it's on a notepad, it's basically the same.
Fair enough. Whose turn is it then?
I just said Ablin.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I roll to do my attack. 25.
Boom.
Do I need to roll damage?
You hit. Roll some damage.
Okay. Let me run, see if it's. No, it's too long ago. Let me just double check what it is. 2d6 plus 5.
Do nothing. It works.
It works every time. 20% of the time, every time.
12 damage.
That's a guarantee.
This is where
Roll
it's
damage.
fine.
You crash through this suit of armor, and as you strike it through the middle, the whole thing crumples to the floor.
I
Cashback.
run to this one,
When do crumbles
and
to
I
the
do my
floor.
extra attack
Crumble
on that
to
one.
the floor.
Go on in.
24.
You hit. Do some damage.
Oh
8.
shit.
Nice. Same again. Smashes to the floor, and you see 2 more generate in these corners. And then it is Etten. Is it your turn?
My go, yeah.
Etten, it's your turn.
Hello. Okay, I'm gonna
Only
turn.
3
To...
screens.
Use
Wanna
the...
turn-
Shut up! I don't want to use it. I don't like it.
I want to turn to this guy next to me, and I want to do nothing. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
He dies.
Yeah, I want to attack him, please.
for
With
it.
my axe.
Just
Bang, 21.
Nice. You hit. Do some damage.
Hit. All right, sweet. Plus 5. That's my damage and second attack. I don't know if that does anything actually. First of all, I should wait. What does that do? All right, sweet. Lovely. Can I move and check
is
out
Ethan
whatever
dead?
these corner things here are?
Ethan is dead.
Oh, you killed the wrong person.
Oh, sorry.
What? I'm dead.
Yeah, you died. Sorry about that.
Sorry to break the news to you in this fashion.
Passed away while he was
But you actually hit yourself.
I'm so sorry. The truth is,
So where
you're
are you
Bruce
going?
Willis.
I just want to check out what's going on over here because
Okay.
I don't know what these things are.
Do an investigation.
I
and
imagine
then
since they're so weak, he'd just be walking
12.
around, smacking them down,
and
just
this
like,
one
what
is
is
going to move.
Nothing wrong with me. Nothing wrong with me.
Something's got to give.
And he is going to swing for
Something's
you,
got to
Evelyn.
give. Let the body hit the floor. Let the body
And he's
hit
going to
the floor.
hit.
Damn.
And he's going to do 6 bludgeoning damage.
Damn.
Bad time to be an Avalon.
Oh, mate.
I'm here to soak up the damage. It's
You're
fine.
doing great.
And then this one is going to move towards... actually, from there, he can't see you. So, I'll go with 1, 5, 10, 15.
Now I can see him.
Now it can, but these things are not the smartest things in the world. So, given that Taran is the only person that's closest to him, he's going to head towards there. Etin, where was your intelligence? Was your investigation 12?
Mine was 12. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I put 12, so that's fine. This strange contraption looks like it can be turned.
Ah. Okay. Okay. So can I? I can't do anything right now, right? I can only just no. Okay.
So it's back to you, Kovu.
Okay, I'm gonna step 2 steps to the side. I'm gonna Ray of Frost the one next to Avalon. I'm gonna miss, and then I'm gonna take 2 steps to the left. That's me.
It misses. And then Taran, it's your turn.
sick. I'm a hip hop over here and shocking grasp.
Sit.
19.
You hit.
Sit. Be whatever you want to be.
Do that. 11 damage.
Grab
Then,
it and it crumbles to the floor.
then
Why are you laughing?
I'm gonna use.
Be whatever you want to be.
I'm gonna use my font of magic, expend a sorcery point,
Gonna be melee. Be
and
melee.
make shocking grasp usable as a bonus action.
Nice.
Then I'm gonna hippity hop over here and
Mhm.
do it again.
Very nice.
You wouldn't
20.
Steal a car.
I get fucked.
Do it again.
10 damage.
And the next
Oh,
one
well
crumbles
done.
to the ground.
Well done. Look at that double kill.
And
Evelyn, what are
that's
you
a-
doing?
Me?
Yep.
I will just move and whack this one.
What do they look like? I can't. Let me zoom in.
Armor.
Is that what they? Is
Oh,
that what
Yeah,
they
they're
look
like
Oh,
suits
don't
of
hit.
armor.
You miss.
Okay.
You miss very, very badly, and you
Fuck.
drop your shield on the floor as you lose your
Shit.
balance.
Drop your shield onto the floor. Drop your shield to the floor.
Are they the knights?
Etin, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
What would I like to do? I
Yeah.
would like to go up to this guy here and,
Kick his fucking head in.
yeah, fucking yeah, yeah. Put his
You
head in the
wanna
bag.
Yes.
Oh god, let me put his head in the bag.
I
And
forgot.
you missed.
Oh no! Oh no!
The other day I was trying to remember what the
Oh,
other
wait, I get
share
I
your
get a
eggs
second
thing
attack.
was.
Sorry, what are you saying, Josh?
The other day I was trying to remember what the other share your eggs thing was. I knew we had 2 things from WoW.
And
One
you
was
hit.
share your
Roll
eggs.
damage.
I couldn't remember the other one, but it's it's put his head in the bag.
Yeah, put his in the bag. 11.
Mm-mm. Oh, that's the damage. Yeah,
That's
that's
damage.
And it crumples to the floor.
To the floor. Put his head in the bag. Camera. Share your eggs.
Okay. Would you like to do anything else in your turn?
Hang on.
Share your eggs,
I-
guys. Okay.
Yeah, that guy had no idea what the fuck you're talking about. I'd like to move over here, please.
Okay.
Nope.
Kovu, it's your turn.
Fantastic. I would like to step 2 steps to the right. Realize that I can't see anything, and take 2 steps over here. realise that I could see something past Evelyn and try and shoot it with a rare frost, given that these guys are weak as shit.
Try and hoot it.
26, try and
And you
hoot
hit
it.
it. Is this one you're going for?
I'm going straight up try and hoot it. Yeah, 2d8. I
And
think.
it smashes.
Sweet.
He hooted good.
5, 10. Yeah, that's as far as I can go. Oh shit, actually, do you know what? Can I see this guy from my current position?
Yeah, he's stepped
Okay,
forward.
then I'm going to go over here instead. That's my full movement because of all my wiggling. As I step out, though, and fire that off, I'm just going to be like, given that I can see the room of death, I'm just going to say, it appears as though you maybe don't need this information, but they seem to go down easy if you can successfully hit them. And I step away.
Taryn, it's your turn. Sorry. I did
Oh.
say, but I think no one had.
I missed it. Sorry. And hey, yeah. Why?
It slams down, murdering you instantly.
Oh,
The end.
stone grass. 24. Do the
You
damage.
succeed,
7 damage. They get
and-
smacked.
Crumble, you're like 6th month to the ground. Okay. Bear with me. Oh.
You don't know.
Okay. So, by now, the 4 of you have cottoned on to what is happening.
Yeah.
There are many, many suits of armor in this room, and they just keep regenerating. Of which
Oh,
you
I didn't realise they were
are-
regenerating. I thought that each time one came, it was like a new one.
Yes, no, they are new ones, but they're just more and more are coming. Like more are coming
So
to.
it looks as though it's never ending.
Yes, so they are.
That wasn't
keep
apparent
coming.
to me.
You guys have this under control now. You realize what they're doing, where they're coming from, and that they're really easy to get rid of. So what you guys do from this point onwards is completely up to you. But for the sake of expediency, we don't need to carry on rolling combat
With the fight.
with the fight because you guys have got to grips with it. You've done it enough. But now they are still emerging. Like every 10 to 15 seconds, another one's coming to life and stepping forward
Okay.
and trying to hurt you guys.
Taryn, if you wouldn't mind, it serves me to see here that given that we're ranged, or that we have a capacity to take down these enemies at range, perhaps we should fire our shots at them as necessary and allow Evelyn and Etin to
push
turn
these
over
wheels.
the room.
From the looks of it, from what we've deduced, it looks like these can be spun, and perhaps these mechanisms will open the slabs, as there are 2 parts of this door and 2 spins. So, Etin, if you
I wasn't aware those span, but certainly a very, very astute observation, Evelyn. Well done. Oh shit!
Another one. I run for it as he shoots the rare.
It was more for just the visual. You get what's happening.
I said there's another one behind you, Kovo.
I want
Oh,
to-
heavens!
I want to push it.
So you want to turn this? How much?
All the
Oh,
way.
you were cutting out.
How much do you want to turn it?
I just want to keep pushing it and see if it's doing anything to it, and then if it doesn't work, try and push it the other way, kind of thing. See what's happening.
Okay. So
Etin,
as the guys
push the other
carry
one.
on defending and trying to keep these suits of armor off you as they keep emerging from the endless wall of armor, you rotate it what seems to be 180 degrees, so 2 clicks, and this left door swings open.
I want to yell
Yeah.
at Etin to push the other one.
Okay.
Etin, push the other one. It's opening the gate. No, I'm not sure. What's it? Is it a gate?
The door.
Seems
The
like
The door. The
we can
door.
probably
Alright.
just pass through the
Yeah.
left one, surely.
I mean,
If I
And at
let
that
go,
point,
it'll
another
But then-
suit of armor emerges.
Oh, they're bloody
No,
everywhere!
no, but I guess I would imagine that if you pass
if I
through one
let
side,
go, it might just like snap
yeah,
closed.
it might
I'm
snap
thinking.
back. So let me just turn this one.
Very well, we'll clear a path. Taryn, if you wouldn't mind.
Yep. Woohoo!
So as you turn it
Oh,
90 degrees,
woohoo! Yippee!
as you've noticed, two have emerged. But as you turn it to be the 180th degree, so you've done 2 ticks. The 2 latest suits of armor that have come to life and started moving stop and halt and resume their once original position of standing upright and non.
Alright, it seems as though we may have found a way to stop these ridiculous suits of armor. I'm going to go ahead and kill this one anyway.
Very well.
I believe we've calmed the situation for now, but
Better
both
safe
the
than sorry.
doors
we should head
swing
through.
open.
Yay.
Excellent work, everyone. Well done.
Let's head through.
Oh yeah.
Comes to my attention as I step forwards here that I'm not really the front runner of this group. Edin, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
I'll
I'm
go
gonna make
forward.
my way over there. I'm gonna walk through this door. What have we got going on here?
I'm glad that you're telegraphing your every movement. I was quite unsure of what your intentions were.
You might take a couple
absolutely.
of steps back so that you're all sort of in the doorway, because as you come into this next room, I don't know, I have a better way to describe this other than a very giant bath, or in more modern terms, it seems to be a pool. You walk in and there's just this big stretch of water in front of you. It goes about 30, 25 feet ahead of you, and if you look over the edge, it's clear water and is all the way down, and it looks like it goes about 20 feet deep. And from what you can see, there seems to be a floating chest in the middle of the water.
How far out is the floating chest?
About 10 feet. In the middle.
Can I would like to use Mage Hand to grab the chest and pull it towards us.
And to assist him, I use.
Yeah, I was gonna say if unable to
water.
do so, then the shape water will change the flow so that it flows
Yeah.
towards us.
Okay, where do you pull the chest to?
Just
Towards us.
Like here.
Okay. Oh, would you take it out of the water?
If we get it to the edge, I'd like to take it out of the water. Yeah, sure. We'll
Yeah.
let Evelyn do it. Yeah, we'll let Evelyn do it.
Yeah, I'll pull it
So
up.
you pull it forward, you grab the chest, you pull it out, you put it on the side, and as you put it on the side,
I get the lantern.
notice that it has a chain like locked
Oh.
onto the bottom of it.
Okay.
And you're not too sure why, but it seems to be going under the water.
Oh.
And then as you look at the strange chest, which doesn't have a lock on it, by the way,
So can we
it just
open it?
seems to be shut. Before you do that, something starts moving in the water.
Oh no.
And out appears this giant water. It's almost like a living wave, and looks extremely angry.
Can I
However,
lightning
angry
bolt it?
can be. No, because that's where we're gonna end.
My
Oh,
no.
seriously?
You can't stop.
Yep, it's gonna roar up out of the water at you from where the chain seems to have come from.
You're gonna stop on the bus.
I really want to lightning bolt it whilst it's in the water.
Well, you can lightning bolt it.
But
Next
you won't know
session.
the effect until the next session.
just for
Sevi,
a
what
good.
did you say? I can lightning bolt it,
It's
but
sand misty.
Do you wanna? Is it a roll to hit?
no, it's a dex save.
Okay, so how do you shoot the lightning out?
Well, I want to move to the. As soon as I see this thing moving around the water, I want to move to the side of Evelyn and be like, "There's something in there," and then just fire this bolt of lightning linearly.
As it's coming up, so like
Yeah.
it's all moving water. It's suddenly it looks like a river and a sea before it, whereas
As
before
it
was
begins
completely
to
still, and
shape
it's emerging
and create
out
a
and shaping
form,
into this
more
big
so
form.
than simply Taran shape water, which I think he was kind of doing at the same time to assist in the pulling the chest over. I'm gonna let the mage hand dissipates into nothingness as Evelyn grabs the chest, and I fire a beam of lightning into the water, and I'm aiming for the creature, but also hoping that generally conducting the water will be useful.
Okay. So you shoot off your lightning, and it makes contact with the creature. It lights up, and then that's where we'll stop.
Yay!
Just for a
roll the
good-
damage.
Yeah, roll damage.
Okay, cool.
Just for a good bit of RP reference as well,
Mhm.
Taran is stood there just like with glowing eyes, just like this is so fucking cool.
Like terrifyingly
It's
cool, but super cool.
Christ.
As I cast the spell, my orb that's going around me sparks and changes to a sort of turquoisey blue color.
Is that lightning bolt? Was that?
Yes, that was lightning bolt. 29
What the
damage.
Fuck, man.
You see the whole thing light up. It's definitely conducted your lightning bolt that you've thrown at it. It hasn't really moved other than it's still emerging out the water, and if anything, it just looks enraged.
Does it seem to have suffered the full effect of the spell?
But now you have to wait and find out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that was.
Well done.
awesome.
That was
Cool,
fun.
yeah, well done, Seppi. That was awesome.
Yeah, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was cool.
That's good when we make some.
I'm
good
glad that we
progress
got
in
through the
combat.
puzzles and landed on the bus.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
Mhm. Hmm.
I didn't think we were gonna get through that damn puzzle, man. I freaking hate water puzzles.
There is a lot more
Honestly.
to this map. Jesus Christ.
Honestly. Well done, Sev.
Lols.
Doing
Really
amazing,
enjoyed it, man.
Sebby.
Oh, it's okay.
Woo!
Enjoy that. Enjoyed that. Quite
Dun, dun.
creative that was. I like
I
that.
hope so. I tried to make it interesting. I tried to throw in
Mm.
like different elements of D&D, like puzzles and lots of rolling and stuff. So loads of different things that it's not just
Yeah.
combat and RP.
I've written
I tried
more
to-
notes for this session than I have for the previous two. Not combined, but just like this is the one I have for the most notes.
Mhm.
I want to just say, for Josh's sake, right? Completely meta. The only
I
reason,
don't like the use of completely meta.
just for the
What's that?
fact of, the only reason I'm not using my other spell slots.
Oh,
are
you're
very
talking. The only
limited.
reason you're melee or going in melee is because your other shit is ranged and you don't want to burn the slots for it.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And Shocking Grasp is really useful because they can't take reactions if it works.
Yeah. If it
Oh,
hits
that's
them.
cool.
And run.
So you've gone
that's
a
why
little
it's
bit utility as well then.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
because then you can escape their attack range
Mm.
because they can't reaction and get
Oh,
the attack.
combined, we're quite nice then. The only reason I took Ray of Frost over Firebolt is because it lowers their movement speed.
Yeah, there we go. See.
Yeah, the only
Thank you.
other cantrip I have is Thunderclap, but I think that damages friendlies as well. If I'm wrong, then I should start using that. But it's still 5 feet
I
range.
can't open a browser now without wrecking the stream, so I will simply say goodbye, stream. I hope you enjoy
Goodbye,
watching this
stream.
Bye,
session.
stream.
We'll put you up on YouTube recently.
Bye-bye.
Follow me on YouTube and I don't know, tweet at my Instagram. Bye.